soliloquy. Gave him way back, minister of knowledge, officer, just remember that. We gon' search the whole world, oh yeah, oh yeah, 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 oh, 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 oh. Tell them you know, oh yeah, yeah, just tell them you know, oh rounding up the book to read, I gotta get them all looking overseas, and you know it, and you know it, yeah. Rounding up the, rounding up the, rounding up the, rounding up the, yeah. Rounding up the book to read, I gotta get them all looking overseas, and you know it, and you know it. Reading through the law to see, I gotta dot the I's, even cross the T's, and you know it, and you know it. Praying to the Lord, have mercy, mercy. Show me where you wanna go first, you know. Oh yeah, while I'm teaching to the people that's thirsty, thirsty, searching for the truth that's hidden, you know. The mouth from my lips when I'm show me where you wanna go next, you know, right away. If you lost and you don't know where the truth at, looking all around but you don't know where to go. Well, we gon' show you the way. Okay, let me read the line. Line it up, standing back to back. Deacon 9 doctrine killer, hater stepping back. Captain Joel from the book, yeah, the prophet's back. Officer Ahim, yeah, that's Pepper Black. Officer LaCroix, give him way back. Minister of knowledge, officer, just remember that. We gon' search the whole world, oh yeah, oh yeah, 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 oh, 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 oh. Tell them you know. Tell them you know, oh yeah. Rounding up the book to read, I gotta get them all looking overseas, and you know it, and you know it, yeah. Rounding up the, rounding up the, rounding up the, rounding up the, yeah. Rounding up the book to read, I gotta get them all looking overseas, and you know it, and you know it, yeah. Reading through the law to see, I gotta dot the I's, even cross the T's, and you know it, and you know it. Praying to the Lord, have mercy, mercy. Show me where you wanna go first, you know. Oh yeah, while I'm teaching to the people that's thirsty, thirsty, searching for the truth that's hidden, you know. Oh yeah, speak through the mouth from my lips when I'm show me where you wanna go next, you know, right away. If you lost and you don't know where the truth at, looking all around but you don't know where to go. Well, we gon' show you the way. Okay, let me read the line. Line it up, standing back to back. Deacon 9 doctrine killer, hater stepping back. Captain Joel from the book, yeah, the prophet's back. Officer Ahim, yeah, that's Pepper Black. Officer LaCroix, give him way back. Minister of knowledge, officer, just remember that. We gon' search the whole world, oh yeah, oh yeah, 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 oh, oh. Rounding up the book to read, I gotta get them all looking overseas, and you know it, and you know it, yeah. Rounding up the, rounding up the, rounding up the, rounding up the, yeah. Rounding up the book to read, I gotta get them all looking overseas, and you know it, and you know it, yeah. Reading through the law to see, I gotta dot the I's, even cross the T's, and you know it, and you know it. Praying to the Lord, have mercy, mercy. Show me where you wanna go first, you know. While I'm teaching to the people that's thirsty, searching for the truth that's hidden, you know. Speak through the mouth from my lips when I'm show me where you wanna go next, you know. Right away. If you lost and you don't know where the truth at, looking all around but you don't know where to go. Well, we gon' show you the way. Okay, let me read the line. Line it up, standing back to back. Deacon 9 times, doctrine killer, hater stepping back. Captain Joel from the book, yeah, the prophet's back. Officer Ahim, yeah, that's Pepper Black. Officer LaCroix, yeah, from way back. Minister of knowledge, officer, just remember that. We gon' search the whole world, oh yeah, oh yeah, 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 oh, 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 oh. Tell them you know. Tell them you know, oh yeah. Rounding up the book to read, I gotta get them all looking overseas, and you know it, and you know it, yeah. Rounding up the, rounding up the, rounding up the, rounding up the, yeah. Rounding up the book to read, I gotta get them all looking overseas, and you know it, and you know it, yeah. Reading through the law to see, I gotta dot the I's, even cross the T's, and you know it, and you know it. Praying to the Lord, have mercy, mercy. Show me where you wanna go first, you know. Oh yeah. While I'm teaching to the people that's thirsty, searching for the truth that's hidden, you know. Oh yeah. Speak through the mouth from my lips when I'm show me where you wanna go next, you know. Right away. If you lost and you don't know where the truth at, looking all around but you don't know where to go. Well, we gon' show you the way. Okay, let me read the line. Line it up, standing back to back. Deacon 9 times, doctrine killer, hater stepping back. Captain Joel from the book, yeah, the prophet's back. Officer Ahim, yeah, that's Pepper Black. Officer LaCroix, yeah, from way back. Minister of knowledge, officer, just remember that. We gon' search the whole world, oh yeah, oh yeah, 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 oh, 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 oh. Tell them you know. Oh yeah, yeah. Just tell them you know. Oh yeah. Rounding up the book to read, I gotta get them all looking overseas, and you know it. And you know it, yeah. Rounding up the, rounding up the, rounding up the, rounding up the, yeah. Rounding up the book to read, I gotta get them all looking overseas, and you know it, Reading through the law to see, I gotta dot the I's, even cross the T's, and you know it, and you know it. Praying to the Lord, have mercy, mercy. Show me where you wanna go first, you know. Oh yeah, while I'm teaching to the people that's thirsty, searching for the truth that's hidden, you know. Oh yeah, speak through the mouth from my lips when I'm. Show me where you wanna go next, you know, right away. If you lost and you don't know where the truth at, looking all around but you don't know where to go. Well, we gon' show you the way. Okay, let me read the line. Line it up, send it back to back. Deacon 9 times, doctrine killer, hater stepping back. Captain Joel from the book, yeah, the robbers back. Officer Ahim, yeah, that's Pepper Black. Officer LaCroix, yeah, from way back. Minister of knowledge, officer, just remember that. We gon' search the whole world, oh yeah, oh yeah, 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 oh, 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 oh. Tell them you know. Oh yeah, just tell them you know. Oh yeah, rounding up the book to read, I gotta get them all looking overseas, and you know it. Rounding up the, yeah. Rounding up the book to read, I gotta get them all looking overseas, and you know it, and you know it, yeah. Reading through the law to see, I gotta dot the I's, even cross the T's, and you know it, and you know it. Praying to the Lord, have mercy, mercy. Show me where you wanna go first, you know. Oh yeah, while I'm teaching to the people that's thirsty, searching for the truth that's hidden, you know. Oh yeah, speak through the mouth from my lips when I'm. Show me where you wanna go next, you know, right away. If you lost and you don't know where the truth at, looking all around but you don't know where to go. Well, we gon' show you the way. Okay, let me read the line. Line it up, send it back to back. Deacon 9 times, doctrine killer, hater stepping back. Captain Joel from the book, yeah, the robbers back. Officer Ahim, yeah, that's Pepper Black. Officer LaCroix, yeah, from way back. Minister of knowledge, officer, just remember that. We gon' search the whole world, oh yeah, oh yeah, 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 oh, 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 oh. Tell them you know, oh yeah, yeah, just tell them you know, oh rounding up the book to read, I gotta get them all looking overseas, and you know it, and you know it, yeah. Rounding up the, yeah. Rounding up the book to read, I gotta get them all looking overseas, and you know it, and you know it, yeah. Reading through the law to see, I gotta dot the I's, even cross the T's, and you know it, and you know it. Praying to the Lord, have mercy, mercy. Show me where you wanna go first, you know. Oh yeah, while I'm teaching to the people that's thirsty, searching for the truth that's hidden, you know. Oh say no way. Enemies are teaching you the wrong way. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Do you know it? History. Yeah.
Hey, shalom. Welcome to Our Hidden History Radio. Our Hidden History Radio. I'm Deacon. And to my left,
my name is Captain Joel.
Officer Laquat.
Officer Jezreel.
Officer Adon.
We are Our Hidden History Radio. Welcome back. This is Chapter 13. We was dealing with the Barkers last week. It was one of my favorite parts of the segment. It's been a long time. We finally made it. So we left off with us torturing regulars, and we came across some more stuff. I want to elaborate on the torture of regulars because, quite frankly, it makes me happy that we did those things to them.
That's
so
right.
we're gonna get some more, and the bishop's class last week touched a nerve regarding the treatment of our people and the atrocities that they've committed against us for so many years, leading up from as far as this freaking from the time we got here to the '80s movement to this Kawan Charles. So we addressed how Regulus, who was a Roman, I believe he was a general, him and his men bit off more than they can chew, and they ended up on African land, sailed there, without doing reconnaissance, and ran to us. And we gave him hell, and they tried to seek peaceful relations, or whatever. And he said, "Nah, the hell with that," So he basically disrupted peaceful relations between Romans and the Carthaginians. So the Carthaginians decided to reward him for being disruptive. And what do? We're going to read it out of here first. Let's get Caesar and Christ again. Page 45. I just wanted to start from there. We're going to start at after keeping regulars. So I'm going to start there. Then we're going to get some more details on this account. After keeping Regulus, right there.
After keeping Regulus a prisoner for 5 years, his captors allowed him to accompany a Carthaginian embassy sent to Rome to seek peace.
Right, between the Carthaginians, us, and the Romans. Go ahead.
But on his promise to return to captivity, if the Senate refused the proffered terms. When Regulus heard these, he advised the Senate to reject them. And despite the entreaties of his family and his friends, went back with the embassy to Carthage.
So basically, he told the Romans to denounce or to reject any parts of the treaty between them and the Carthaginians. So he basically told the Romans, "Yo, don't make no deal with these guys. I'm gonna go back as a prisoner with them. Don't make. We tried to use him as a bargaining chip to gain a peace treaty between us, the Carthaginians, and the Romans." He said, "The hell with that. This guy tried to be a gangster. Nah, the hell with that. The hell with the treaty. I'll just go back. I'll just be their prisoner. The hell with it." So he messed things up for us. So watch what happens. Trying to be gangster. Watch.
There, he was tortured to death.
So we tortured him to death. You want to disrupt relations? We began to torture this guy to death. Go ahead.
By being prevented from sleeping. His sons at Rome took 2 Carthaginian captives of high rank, bound them in a chest studded with spikes, and kept them awake till they died.
So that's called an Iron Maiden. A casket studded with spikes is called an Iron Maiden. We on? You still hear me? All right, go ahead.
Neither tale seems credible until we recall the barbarities of our time.
Right. So it says neither tales seem credible until we recall the barbarities of our time. Okay? So this author is saying that this tale may in fact be what's the term? Not credible.
Right.
May not have happened. Right? So now, let's see. Let's get some more sources. Get the next source we found. How old is this book, Jazz? What year is this?
This book is 1913, I believe.
Okay, that's pretty old. Not bad. Get this real quick. Real quick. Was a blue highlighter one?
Yes, sir. Blue highlighter.
Blue highlighter one. Yeah, go to that one. We're gonna get some more accounts on this situation. It says here we tortured him and didn't allow him to sleep. That sounds good, but we wanted more detail as to how he was unable to sleep.
Right.
You just can't just leave it off like that. Let's get some more detail. Read that.
Reputed torture and death of Regulus. The Roman historians tell us that after the return of Regulus to Carthage, the Carthaginians wrought up the most furious rage at his conduct in breaking off the negotiation for peace.
Right, go ahead.
Resolved to punish him with the most cruel torture.
So we decided to punish this guy with the most cruel torture we could think of. Go ahead.
After cutting off his eyelids.
He cut out his eyelids. See, we were some great men back then. We were honorable men. We cut his eyelids out. So you can't close them eyes now.
He's just wide
They're
open.
just wide open all day. All day, just wide open. No sleep for you. Go ahead.
After cutting off his eyelids and putting him into a dungeon,
You put him in a dungeon. Go ahead.
they exposed his naked eyes to the burning sun.
See? We exposed his eyes to the burning sun in the dungeon. So he got tied down where the sun rises. So you know he went blind after that. He went blind completely.
Jones is burning, frying.
Just burning his eyes out. Burning. Go ahead.
And then put him into a cask set all around with sharp spikes.
So we had an Iron Maiden. We put him in an Iron Maiden. We did it first. That's our weapon of choice.
Hey, Deke. Now we can see why during the Spanish Inquisition they tortured us.
That's why.
Yeah, now
going
you can
back.
see why. Oh,
Yes,
gosh.
sir. Yes, sir.
Going back. Go ahead.
Where he died in prolonged agony.
He died in prolonged, because you know in that casket, if you make any sudden moves, you poking yourself. You're getting pricked by the needles in there. So he got poked, he just died. So, all praise to the Lord for that.
That's therapy
All
right
praise, that made me feel good reading that, coming across that information. I didn't want to let that slide off. Yes, thank you. Round of applause to our brothers for doing the right thing.
Hey,
To
Deacon,
the right people.
Deacon, real quick, remember they said
Oh, read the rest, right? They try to play it off.
they try to play it off. Let me read the rest real quick.
Read the rest of it.
It says this story is believed to have been invented by the Romans to fire their soldiers with deadly hatred against the Carthaginians, and as a pretext for their own subsequent barbarous treatment of the Carthaginians. And though Regulus doubtless ended his days as a prisoner at Carthage, there are good reasons for believing that he died a natural death.
Right.
Come
so
on,
He's
man.
try to play it off like, oh, no, that didn't really happen. The Romans made that story up so that it can fuel up to the Romans to fight against us. But we did that to him. We did that to them.
You know what they're trying to tell you? He was a hero.
Right, pretty
Right,
much.
right.
He didn't die that horrible death at the hands of some niggas. He died. He just grew old and died with us. No, we tortured that dude to death.
Because if that didn't happen to him, why in the other source they said that they did the same thing?
Right, in response to that. You understand? So Esau doesn't want the world to know that our people, black folks, killed and tortured their own people. It's okay? We did. We had fun doing it. And the Lord's one of the kingdom, we're going to do it again.
All praises.
Double.
Double, yeah.
That's right.
Let's jump down to Meanwhile. Same book. Caesar and Christ again. Y'all can buy this book. It's by Will Durant. It's called Caesar and Christ. Very good read.
Very good book.
Very good read. A lot of information regarding this is the book that tells you that Hannibal was in fact akin in relation and by blood to the Jews and as well as the features, because they're the same people.
Hey,
all right?
Deacon.
Yeah.
Let's bring out one scripture real quick.
Yeah, sure.
Give me Isaiah 33, verse 18, because Deacon made a profound statement, and I love this statement. You know, I'm going to meditate on it. I'm going to sleep on it.
Right.
And it's about going to the torture that's going to occur into the kingdom. So the mindset that our fathers had back then is the mindset we're going to have. Because the mindset we have right now is, we still in that docile type of, oh, I don't want to hurt them. You can't see ourselves in that mindset because of the way we were brought up.
Right.
We was brought up to, we have Stockholm syndrome.
Docile, be docile.
So
Yep.
even in this truth, there's a certain level that we'll go to. We would never go to the level of our forefathers because why? We're not brought up in that environment.
Right.
There's a video of I think Officer LaQuat posted up on one of the groups of our young kids, and there was Edomite, I think it was Edomite, no, Jake was asking the kids question. They was like, "Yo, can you what say?"
Oh yeah. It was asking about torturing. Would they be able to torture the white men based on the historical things that happened to us in slavery? And it was like, yes, we would. That was like years ago.
He says to the kids, I built up a wall.
Yeah.
Keep them separate from us.
Uh-huh. And he said, "What happened? They tried to climb up the wall." He said, "We shoot them." He said, "Yeah."
Yeah.
He said, "I'll shoot them."
Yeah, that was in the 70s, right?
Yeah.
1972.
1972. It's a different generation now. Now it's the that's you kids now, mumbling nonsense.
All day.
Mumbo, love the white man,
Y'all don't
but kill
read
the
books.
black man.
They don't read books. They read prescriptions now.
Damn.
Different spirit back then. Different spirit.
Yep. Get that. Isaiah 33 verse 18.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 33, verse 18. Thine heart shall meditate terror. Where is the scribe? Where is the receiver?
Wait, read that again.
Thine heart
Thy mind.
shall meditate terror.
So our fathers back then meditate on. Think about it. For you to sit down and say, you know what? They had a council. Oh, yo, what we gonna do to these guys? You know, let's cut off his eyelids. Like, huh? Yeah, I like that. That sounds good.
Like,
yo, think about it. You had to meditate on that. That just doesn't come to the human mind.
Right.
I mean, they thought the most gruesome torture. Yo, if we cut his eyelids, yo, he can't sleep. He don't want to talk to him. He not gonna sleep.
Right.
And then let's expose his eye to the sun. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, sounds. Ooh, yeah. So it can make him blind.
That's another level of thinking right there.
Right. It's just some more. It's just some more. In honor of our brothers and sisters who are being killed by this man, and he believes in his mind he's gonna get salvation despite his evil. Because a lot of you Negroes out there, a lot of y'all have a slave mentality. Even some of you who we I get a lot of simple asinine comments on the comment board about the information being brought out. Brother, talk about things don't line up. I said, bro, this is part 12. What do you mean things don't line up? You only watched part 12, things don't line up. Did you watch part 1? Okay, I watched part 1, doesn't line up. Did you watch part 1 to 10? So a lot of people, whether it be heathen or Israelite, heathen-minded Israel, which is the same thing in my opinion, have a slave mentality where this kumbaya nonsense where y'all believe in your mind that democracy is going to be in the kingdom. Democracy is an illusion. We are not in a democracy. We are in a monarchy. I don't know what world you're living in. And it's going to be another monarchy again, Christ's monarchy.
That's
You
right.
understand? It's going to be that again. So, real quick, let's get Psalm 68, verse 23. Psalm 68, verse 23.
The book of Psalms, chapter 68, verse 23.
Yeah.
That thy foot may be dipped in the blood of thy enemies.
See that? You see that says? That your foot may be dipped in the blood of your enemies. That's the Lord's promise. Get 112 and 8. Same book.
The book of Psalms, chapter 112, verse 8. His heart is established. He shall not be afraid until he see his desire upon his enemies.
See that? The scripture say until we see the desire. Read it again.
His heart is established. He shall not be afraid until he see his desire upon his enemies.
Right.
That's right.
Get 59 verse 10. Same book. 58 verse 10.
Hey, Deacon, when you're at it, man, don't forget 149.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And 137.
Just let them come out. Let the spirit
Bring it
flow.
out, that's right.
58 and 10.
Psalm chapter 58, verse 10. The righteous shall rejoice when he seeth the vengeance. He shall wash his feet in the blood of the wicked.
See?
Damn.
That sounds so good. That's not sound good. See, so y'all all this, the Kawan Charles, the Philando Castiles, the Trayvon Martins, y'all gonna pay for these things. It's not gonna be you gonna just get the kingdom and all that's gonna be swept under the rug. All those bodies built under Manhattan. Right. I didn't even know that those many bodies like that. I've been to I went to that exhibit the Bishop showed last night on the African burial ground. We went there. We went there and filmed the documentary there. We didn't complete it. We're gonna do it again. It'll start with the show. We're gonna We're gonna revise it. But we visited the African burial ground exhibit and they found children's bones worn down to the nub as early as 2, not 5, 2 years old. Bones worn down from all the weight and carrying. They work 20 hours a day. 20 hours. They got 4 hours break. The horses had them over break than them. And you're going to just say, oh, I repent, I'm sorry, and get the kingdom with us? No. You must be out your mind. No. Read verse again, please.
So Psalms 58, verse 10?
Yeah.
The book of Psalms, chapter 58, verse 10. It says, the righteous shall rejoice when he seeth the vengeance.
It says the righteous shall rejoice when they see the vengeance. See, know the word for vengeance is? Justice.
Right.
Payback.
That's the word for vengeance.
The big
it's
payback.
Justice. That's what vengeance is. It is justice. Negroes don't want the white man to say, I'm sorry, I'll be good to you. Y'all think that's justice. That's not justice. Justice is payback. That's something about James Brown. That was on point. The big payback. That's what the Lord talks about. All throughout the scripture. That is what justice is. Justice is vengeance. Reap what you sow. What goes around comes around. That's what justice is. Negroes and Hispanics, y'all haven't learned what justice is yet, but you gonna learn. You will learn it. What else I wanted? I wanted I want Psalms on. I might have Psalms already lined up. Let me see. Yeah, let's get that. Let's get Psalms.
What do you want?
Psalms 149.
Psalms 149, verse 1. Praise ye the Lord. Sing unto the Lord a new song, and his praise in the congregation of the saints. Let Israel rejoice in him that made him. Let the children of Zion be joyful in their king. Let them praise his name in the dance. Let them sing praises unto him with the timbrel and harp.
Let's sing songs. Let's dance. Have a good time.
For the Lord taketh pleasure in his people.
In his people. Go ahead.
He will beautify the meek with salvation.
The meek is us. Go ahead with salvation. Go ahead.
Let the saints be joyful in glory.
The glory goes back to the kingdom. Go ahead.
Let them sing aloud upon their beds.
In the kingdom.
Let the high praises of God be in their mouth.
The word of God.
And a two-edged sword in their hand.
And a two-edged sword in our hand.
To execute vengeance upon the heathen.
See? To execute vengeance upon the nations. It don't say execute love and peace and harmony with the nations.
Or forgiveness.
Or forgiveness. It says execute vengeance.
That's right.
Vengeance upon the nations. Go ahead.
And punishments upon the people.
And punishments upon the people. Punishments upon the people. Go ahead.
To bind their kings with chains.
To bind their trumps with chains.
And their nobles with fetters of iron.
To bind their George Washingtons with chains. To bind their Bidens with yokes of iron.
Right.
Their king, their Prince Henry Williams.
Hey, don't forget Kamala.
Oh, Kamala also, her too.
That's right.
Because she's not us. You simple black people. She ain't us. That woman is Mystique. I call her Mystique Harris. Because her nationality changes all the time. She's black, she's Indian, she's half white, she's half porcupine, I don't know what she is. Can of soup. And y'all fall for it.
She's a mutt.
Go ahead.
To execute upon them the...
To execute what?
To execute upon them...
To execute upon them. To execute upon them. Who's the them? The heathens, back in the verse above. Go ahead.
The judgment written.
What did Christ say? The scripture cannot be broken. That's what Christ said. The scripture cannot be broken. Read on.
Praise ye the Lord.
And we give all praise to the Lord for that.
Sorry. This honor have all his saints. Praise ye the Lord.
Right, he says this honor of executing judgment have all his saints.
That's right.
Have all his saints. So now.
Sorry, can I just get one?
Yeah.
You know, since we're in the spirit of, Hanukkah,
Right.
tis the season.
Right.
Since we're in the spirit of Maccabees, let me add on to it. Ezekiel 25, verse 14.
Right, I had that written out. I had that too. I forgot.
Oh,
Yep.
Deacon, go ahead, do the honors.
No, go ahead.
Oh, thank you, sir. I just want to get a piece of the,
Oh,
I just
my
want to get a piece of
gosh.
the bloodshed too. You know what I'm saying? Talking
get that.
God talk. Come on, Jess, give it to me. Let's go.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 25, verse
14.
And I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel.
God says, I'm going to lay vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel. So for all you churchgoers, all you Christians out there saying God's love, no, there's going to be judgment. And the judgment we sitting around marching, no, the Most High says, don't worry about it. Waiting upon me until I rise up against the prey. And the way God's going to rise up against the prey, he's going to use us to execute vengeance. That's true justice.
Right.
That's true judgment. The hell, we don't want you know what? Let the cops go. Let them enjoy the kingdom because the judgment coming to this country is going to be far worse than them being in prison. We talking about eyelids being taken out. We talking about your eyes. We talking about your veins. Listen, we going to do some crazy God level stuff. We going to take your veins while you're still sitting there. We going to deplete your blood while you're still standing up.
Dang.
We're going to put your eyes in the back of your head.
Bring it out.
We're going to take out each hair follicle out of your head. know what I'm saying? We're going to take your guts out. We're going to take your esophagus out.
Brothers ain't
You know what I'm
thinking on
saying?
that level. You know
We're
what I
going to
mean?
take your large intestine and small intestines out. And they keep you alive.
Damn, Cap.
God talk.
God talk. Keep going.
And they shall do and eat them according to mine anger.
When God was angry, when he just spoke to us alone, the mountains crumbled. The lightning struck. Fire, there's earthquakes. Listen, we don't know the level of God's anger. God's anger is when the whole world was destroyed by water. That's God's anger.
Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed. 5 cities are destroyed. 5.
God's anger. Talking about God's plan. We should do a song, God's anger. Hey, Abaddon. Post Abaddon, we're going to do that. God's anger. God's anger.
Oh, yeah,
It's gonna come out like that, Cat.
Just make
Yeah,
sure.
just
Cat,
make
it's gonna come out like that.
Just make sure Abaddon sings it.
Wait.
Nah, D, we got it.
Whoa.
Don't do this, Cap. Don't do this.
Okay, I'm sorry.
You finished with that?
No,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah.
And according to my fury, and they shall know my vengeance, saith the Lord God.
He said, they shall know my vengeance, say the Lord God.
Right. Not ours, his.
His.
I got one more for you.
Oh,
It says they shall do and eat them according to mine anger and according to my fear. Means we're gonna act according to God's anger, not our anger.
Nope.
The Most High is gonna put His anger in us to execute the judgments written in Psalms 149.
Oh, anger, we're going to feel sorry.
Yeah, our anger's garbage.
Yeah.
The Most High said, no, you need a push. Let me help you. Like the movie was it Dark Knight? Sandy is like gravity. On these is a little push. Most High gonna push us. Right. No, you ain't angry enough. Let me put the anger in you.
Hey, Deacon, we see them bleeding. They say, you need a Band-Aid?
Let me make us crazy.
You be like, that's enough, that's enough.
There's a term they called blood drunk. That's what's gonna happen.
What you got? Psalm 137?
Nah, man, Jeremiah 51 and 20.
Oh yeah,
That's
in
your
20.
cap. See, your nigga's gonna feel sorry. I feel bad. Look at the little girl. Oh, she's bleeding.
Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 20. Thou art my battle axe and weapon of war.
And that's what Cap was saying earlier. The Most High is going to use us to lay the vengeance upon the heathens. So he says we are his battle axe and weapons of war. We don't?
For with thee will I break in pieces the nations.
See that? With us, it's going to break in pieces the other nations. So that's love right there. Go ahead.
And with thee will I destroy kingdoms.
See that? All these kingdoms are going to be destroyed by the hand of God's people, Israel.
That's it. And then keep going.
Verse 21.
And with thee will I break in pieces the horse and his rider. And with thee will I break in pieces the chariot and his rider.
So that means that even the chariots, we're going to break them in pieces. So we're going to go walk right through them.
That goes back to that goes into their tanks. That goes into their weapons of war, their vehicles. Destroy all of that stuff.
With thee also will I break in pieces man and woman.
See, men and women. Good.
And with thee will I break in pieces old and young.
And that's exactly what they did to us when you're in Deuteronomy 28. A fierce countenance that show no love, no respect.
Favor to the young, the
to
old,
the young
to the
and the
young.
old.
Right.
So we're going to do unto them the same thing they did unto us. So it's justice, payback.
And with thee will I break in pieces the young man and the maid.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Keep going.
Yeah, 23. His last verse.
I will also break in pieces with thee the shepherd and his flock.
He said, with thee. I'll break in pieces with you. God gonna be with us doing that.
Damn.
Yeah?
And with thee will I break in pieces the husbandman and his yoke of oxen. And with thee will I break in pieces captains and rulers.
That's it. 23. That's excellent. That's freaking excellent. So,
I think you got that out of our system.
yeah, I think we're good.
All
Let's
right.
get some more. Let's get some more. Let's get, what's we got? Meanwhile, let's go to meanwhile. Let's go to meanwhile. Let the season Christ again, page 45. Meanwhile, we're going to read all the way to page 47. Did not forget on page 47. Meanwhile, yep, right there.
Meanwhile, the Roman fleet had won another victory, but had suffered a serious defeat at Japana. 249. Worn out almost equally, the two nations rested for 9 years.
So Roman and Carthage, Roman us, we fought a lot. We took a break. Go ahead.
But while in those years, Carthage did nothing, relying upon the genius of Hamilcar. A number of Roman citizens voluntarily presented to the state a fleet of 200 men of war. carrying 60,000 troops.
So we got lazy. We got complacent. Rome was still arming up to fight us. Go ahead.
This new armada, sailing secretly, caught the Carthaginian fleet unprepared at the Aegean Isles off the west coast of Sicily, and so overwhelmed it that Carthage sued for peace.
We lost. We had to wave the white flag. We lost. Go ahead.
Carthaginian Sicily was surrendered to Rome.
Carthaginian what?
Sicily.
Carthaginian Sicily. Sicily is what? That's South Italy. Sicily is south. It's like a boot. I think like a boot. I think South Italy. We had that. We had South Italy on lock. All right. That's your Southern Italians, Sicilians. All right. That's another topic. But we was up in there for a while.
Yes, sir.
And you know what Jake does when they're
I've
around.
seen it for myself.
Yeah, when they're around.
When they lay
brothers
around.
brothers who traveled over there.
I've been to Italy.
They had fun there. So a few,
tell.
not all, but a few of these Sicilians, a lot of them that hate niggas, you niggas too.
And Deke, there's a saying in the world with the Italian, you want to get them pissed off, just mention them, they're the remnants of black people in Italy.
Right.
From
right,
Sicily.
Right.
They get real mad.
Right. So this is the beginning, right?
Basically, you're calling them a nigga.
A nigga, right. So
Wait, Deacon, you said Sicily is in South Italy,
it's
right?
South Italy.
You notice everywhere the Israelites go,
Always the South.
it's always the South.
Always
if
the
you,
South.
If you realize it, India, South India.
Yep.
Spain,
South
South Spain. Everywhere we go, it's always the South. Down south.
I don't know what it's about South. Atlanta, I don't know what it's about South.
We migrate up north.
Yeah, we migrate up north. We always stop in the South, work our way up. It's
Weird.
weird. Yeah. But go ahead.
The Carthaginian Sicily was surrendered to Rome. An annual indemnity of 440 talents was pledged to Rome for 10 years, and all Carthaginian restrictions on Roman trade were withdrawn.
Right. So we had to comply to their rules now at this point. Go ahead.
The war had lasted nearly 24 years and had brought Rome so near to bankruptcy
They weren't broke fighting us. Go ahead.
that its currency was debased 83%.
The money lost value. Go ahead. 83%.
But it had proved the irresistible tenacity of the Roman character and the superiority of an army composed of free men over mercenaries.
Which is our army. Our army is full of mercenaries. Rome is devoted to their people. Carthage is devoted to the money. That's what he's saying here. The mercenaries are paid soldiers. Rome was dedicated to the betterment of their people. We were dedicated to the betterment of our own pockets. That was the pro and con of Carthage. Go ahead.
seeking the greatest booty for the least blood.
Right. Go ahead.
Carthage was now to be all but destroyed by its own greed.
By its own greed. So Carthage was now to be all but destroyed by its own greed. What? Now, remember we read it before. I think it was last week. I mentioned revanchism. Revanche. Going means revenge. This is going to explain what it meant by during Hamilcar's time. There was a revanche, a situation of revanche or revanchism that took place amongst us. Watch, read on.
Negroes.
Right, I said Negroes. Watch, go ahead.
It had withheld for some time the pay of its mercenaries, even of those who had served Hamilcar well.
Right, so the Carthaginian government withdrew money or didn't pay the soldiers. Go ahead.
They poured into the city and demanded their money.
Yo, we want our money. No, Jake is give me my money. We fought for the Romans, fought for you. We're mercenaries. Give us our money. Even those who fought with Hamilcar weren't getting paid. He was. Go ahead.
And when the government temporized and tried to disperse them, they broke into mad revolt.
They got pissed. Go ahead.
Carthage subject peoples, taxed beyond endurance during the war, joined the uprising, and the women of Libya sold their jewels to finance revolution. 20,000 mercenaries and rebels, led by Matho, Matho, a Libyan freeman, and Spendius, a Campanian slave, laid siege to Carthage at a time when hardly a soldier was there to defend it.
So our own people start to fight against each other because there was a whole revolt. Carthage was in shambles. They was being taxed by Rome. Carthage was pretty much in the decline. People were getting paid. There was a whole mass revolt of our people fighting each other now. Remember, Carthage's colonies was from Libya all the way to Tunis and Mauritania. That whole area was ours, and also part of South Spain, some South Italy. Go ahead.
The rich merchants trembled for their lives and appealed to Hamilcar to save them. Torn between affection for his mercenaries and his city, Hamilcar organized an army of 10,000 Carthaginians, trained them, led them forth, and raised the siege.
He had to choose between fighting his own men or fighting for the government. See, I had to fight my own men because they're gonna overthrow the land. Go ahead.
The defeated mercenaries retreated into the mountains, cut off the hands and feet of Jesco.
What do you do?
Cut off the hands and feet of
See
Jesco,
what Hamilcar did? Cut their hands and feet off. Go ahead.
a Carthaginian general, and 700 other prisoners, broke their legs, and then threw the still living victims into an indiscriminate grave.
Buried them alive. Hamilcar was a monster. Hamilcar buried him. That's what happens. You cause problems. You start killing niggas. He ain't playing. Our forefathers didn't play games with no Negroes. He ain't play games. Go ahead.
Hamilcar maneuvered 40,000 of the rebels into a defile and blocked all exits so well that they began to starve.
And he starved them to death. Go ahead.
They ate their remaining captives,
They ate each other. Made them eat each other. Go ahead.
then their slaves.
Then they ate their own slaves. Go ahead.
At last, they sent Spendius to beg for peace. Hamilcar crucified Spendius and had hundreds of prisoners trampled to death under elephants' feet.
Yo,
Yeah, I love this man.
No
Yo.
surrender.
yo,
Yeah, I love this man.
Damn.
yo, what kind of mind did we have back then? We lost everything.
Hamilcar was a genius.
Cap, remember you said because there was no TV.
Right, no TV.
And you know, this is the reason why every time you see it, we have a black leader risen up for the people, you still gotta kill them.
Right.
Because he knows that he don't want those type of mindset to come back to his society. Be like, yo, we gotta get rid of them. You know?
Can I bring something out, Deacon?
Yeah.
Give me Revelations 11, verse 10.
Bring it on.
Yo, and this is why Esau is so brutal towards us. They're still holding on to what we did to them in the past.
It's a grudge.
It's a grudge. That's what it
But
is.
this was to our own people. He was doing this too.
I know, but still.
Yeah, but our mindset.
but our mind.
Yeah.
But remember also, you read earlier that they almost got bankrupt fighting us. So they know what kind of warriors we were. So they know we're not weak.
And our fathers always say in the 60s and 70s, they're afraid. I think it's Stokely Carmichael when he says, "You guys are afraid." I think wasn't it him when he said, "You guys are afraid
Of revolution.
of what we would do to you."
Oh yeah, white guilt, their conscience. Yeah.
This is the reason why. It's Revelation 11 verse 10.
The book of Revelations, chapter 11, verse 10. And they that dwell upon the earth shall rejoice over them and make merry and shall send gifts one to another.
And that's what we was the gifts during the Christmas. They rejoiced over us being conquered. Them conquering the Israelites. That's why you have in Lamentations chapter 2, verse 14, when it says, "Yo, at last we have finally seen the day. This is the day that we have searched for."
Yep.
So the nations were looking for the day. They're waiting for us to fall. They say, "Yeah, once we get these niggas in captivity, it's over. We're gonna keep them. Because if we don't keep them in captivity, yo, what will they do to us? We fear what they would do for us." No, it was Louis Farrakhan. He says, he was saying that your guilt is towards your guilt is.
Yeah, Farrakhan said that.
Farrakhan says your guilt is what will we do to you if we were in power? You're afraid that we would do to you as you have done to us if we ever gain power.
Right.
And Farrakhan, what he didn't realize is we are going to do, and we're going to do worse. Right.
Because these two prophets tormented them that dwelt on the earth.
So these two prophets, even though Hamilcar, you have Spartacus, you have Hannibal, they weren't righteous men
The
of
Spartans.
the Bible. The Spartans, they weren't really righteous men,
Right.
but they're still a part of the two prophets. They're still a part of the nation.
Yes.
So if we're doing this to our own people, what do we do to Esau?
Yeah. What do we do?
Sorry, Deacon.
Go back. Where we at? It's all right.
We had the mercenaries.
Yeah. Go ahead.
The mercenaries tried to fight their way out, but were cut to pieces. Martha was captured and was made to run through the streets of Carthage while the citizens beat him with thongs and tortured him till he died.
Right, because remember, it was him, Mato, and Spendius that were the ones that caused this uprising, caused all this nonsense. So they got the business. They got it later on.
This war of the mercenaries lasted 40 months, from 241 BC to 237 BC, and was by far, said Polybius, the most bloody and impious war in history. When the conflict was over, Carthage found that Rome had occupied Sardinia. Carthage protested and Rome declared war. The desperate Carthaginians brought peace only by paying Rome an additional 1,200 talents and surrendering Sardinia and Corsica.
Right. You know what's crazy about this part about Hamilcar dealing with Negroes? You notice even on the comment board I'm watching right now, you got Negroes on there posting that Esau was the same color as King David.
Right.
This is why we put niggas to death, because y'all stupid as hell. Y'all retarded. That's why we put y'all to death, because it's like, here we are teaching class, you're coming with nonsense. Esau was not, well, I don't even care. He was not the color of David at all. That's nonsense. I did a class recently showing what ruddy means. I mean, it goes back to the word brown. Okay, so go back to that class I did. What was it? The color of God? Is that one of his people about ruddy?
Yes, sir. I think
Yeah, I want to go back to that class and see what the word ruddy means.
Episode
it means
3.
brown. Episode 3, I believe. Go to that one and watch it again. Stop being retarded, or we're gonna just remove you. Now, where we at? We may judge. Go ahead.
Black people.
Yeah, black people. Go ahead.
We may judge the fury of Hamilcar at this treatment of his country. He proposed to his government that it should provide him with troops and funds to reestablish the power of Carthage in Spain. As a stepping stone to the attack upon Italy, the landowner aristocracy opposed the plan, fearing further war.
Right. So the governors said, listen, no, Hamilcar, we don't want you to fight Italy. You'll make things worse. The aristocracy was the governing powers. Go ahead. The aristocrats. The aristocrats. Go ahead.
The mercantile middle class, resenting the loss of their foreign markets and ports, supported it.
Right. So the middle class said the same thing. Yeah, man, you're going to mess up my money. Nah, stop that. Go ahead.
As a compromise, Hamilcar was given a modest contingent, with which he crossed to Spain.
They gave him a little bit of money. Here you go. Here's a little expedition. Go ahead. Be prosperous. Here's some money. Go ahead and do what you want to do. Go ahead.
He recaptured the cities whose allegiance to Carthage had lapsed during the war. Built up
his army.
Built up his army with native recruits, financed and equipped it with the products of Spain's mines.
Spain's what?
Mines.
So he financed and equipped his army with products of Spain's mines. Spain was very, very wealthy. That land was very rich with gold and silver.
Some gems there.
Okay, keep that in mind. Spain's mines. He equipped his army because he had money. Hamilcar was a genius. So the government gave him enough money to do his expedition. He went to Spain, got some more money to finance a better army to go against Rome again. Because remember, when we lost, Rome was taxing us heavy, giving us a hard time. Continue.
And died while leading a charge against a Spanish tribe.
And he died while leading a charge against a Spanish tribe. Go ahead.
He left behind him in the camp his son-in-law Hasdrubal and his sons Hannibal, Hasdrubal, and Mago, his lion's brood.
He called his sons his lion's brood.
Damn.
His baby lions. His lion's brood. Go ahead.
The son-in-law was chosen commander, and for 8 years governed wisely, winning the operation of the Spaniards and building near the silver mines a great city.
Building near the what?
The silver mines a great city.
That's in Spain. The silver mines. He built near the silver mines a great city. We mined a lot of silver from there. Watch this.
Known to Rome as Novo Carthago, or New Carthage, the Cartagena of today.
Right, there's a place called Cartagena. Cartagena is Carthage. Okay? There's a place today was called Cartagena today. Named after Carthage. New Carthage. Novo Carthago. All right? Cartagena, Spain. All right? Cartagena, they say Cartagena, Cartagena, same thing. All right? Go ahead. We named it Nova Carthage or New Carthage or Cartagena of today. Hold on a second. What do I stop at? I said stop at. Keep going.
Yes, sir. When he was assassinated, the army elected as its leader Hamilcar's eldest son, Hannibal.
So Hasdrubal was assassinated. Go ahead.
Then 26 years of age, before leaving Carthage, his father had brought him, a boy of 9, to the altar of Baal-Hamon, and had bidden him swear that someday he would revenge his country against Rome. Hannibal swore and did not forget.
Give me Sirach 30 now.
Damn. He wasn't playing video game.
No.
Nah.
He said, promise me you'll avenge me, your family, against Rome. And he did not forget.
Like Officer Liam posted something on the group yesterday about this brother and his girl was arguing, and she took his PS5
and threw it in the damn train
threw it
track.
in the train. He jumped on the track, seconds before the train arrived.
Came running in on 14th Street
That's
in
crazy.
Manhattan.
Jump and get that damn PS5 and run after the girl to fight with the girl.
That's how Negroes
And
think.
meanwhile, 26-year-old Hannibal was running a country.
We're not the same.
Nah, not at all.
Our forefathers ruled at a young age.
Yeah.
Most of them ruled at a young age.
So but it says here, then at 26 years of age, but it says here he was, his father had bought him a boy of 9. Keep that in mind, a boy of 9. Keep that in mind. All right? Keep that in mind.
Sirach,
Yeah, Sirach 30 verse 1.
chapter 30, verse 1. He that loveth his son causes him often to feel the rod,
He chastises him, disciplines him. Go ahead.
that he may have joy of him in the end. He that chastiseth his son shall have joy in him, and shall rejoice of him among his acquaintance. He that teacheth his son grieveth the enemy.
Yo, he that teaches his son does what?
Grieveth the enemy.
That's why they remove fathers out the households. That's why they target the men. A lot of you black women talk about you the victim. Yeah, you're a victim, but you nowhere near a victim of your as your men.
Right.
Nowhere near. That's why you act the way you behave, because you are victims of a fatherless house. That's why you behave the way you behave. You act all simple and retarded out here, because there ain't no father at home. So y'all are we're victim, women this, women that, but ain't no black man at home. Ain't no father in your house. So you thotting around, talking about whopping with your whop. That's a fatherless house. Fatherless, if the father is there, his brain is absent.
Damn.
He's weak as hell. He's B-made under your mama. So he's still a fatherless house. So the scriptures say that when the son teaches his son, it grieves the enemy. So they're going to target the men. Target the men, break the men, destroy the man. That's what you do. You want to destroy a nation? Destroy the man first. That's why in Egypt, what did Pharaoh say to do? Kill off all the males. He didn't say kill no females. He said kill the males. Get rid of the men. Get rid of them. They're a problem. And keep their women. Likewise today, Esau says that Esau, the red man, red race, white man, not no brown people. Esau says today the same thing today. Yo, get rid of these niggas. Make them act like, make them boys, make them childish, make them juvenile. So they can't raise kids if they still have a kid's mind. And that's what happens. It's the same principle today, indirectly. Read again.
Sirach 30, verse 3. He that teacheth his son grieveth the enemy, and before his friends he shall rejoice of him.
Because he's raising his son to be like him. So he's proud of his son. Raise his son to be proud of. Go ahead.
Though his father die, yet he is, though his father die, yet he is as though he were not dead.
Right, like Hamilcar and Hannibal. Hannibal was the exact replica of his father. The identical twin of his father. In behavior, skill, wisdom, all the above. It's like he never died. Go ahead.
For he hath left one behind him that is like himself.
See, that's what Hamilcar. Hamilcar made sure to raise sons just like himself. Hannibal was that one.
His lion's
brood.
Right.
His lion's brood. Go ahead.
While he lived, he saw and rejoiced in him. And when he died, he was not sorrowful.
Hamilcar said, promise me you'll avenge me against Rome. It says his son never forgot. That's why the father must raise our sons to not forget what happens to us on this side either. Teach your sons that this man is the devil the Bible speaks of. Esau is the white man the Bible speaks of. He is the devil the Bible speaks of. You teach your sons that. Don't teach your sons that Esau is a brown man, because that's nonsense. All right, read on.
Verse 4. Verse 5. While he lived, he saw and rejoiced in him.
Because he saw that he did a good job raising his son to be like him, to avenge him against his enemies. Go ahead, but he's gone.
And when he died, he was not sorrowful.
He died with no regrets, his son, because he successfully raised a son like himself. Go ahead.
He left behind him an avenger against his enemies.
What did he leave behind him?
An avenger against his enemies.
What was Hannibal?
An avenger against his enemies.
Exactly. Hannibal was an avenger of his father's enemies, of his people's enemies, of our enemies. Go ahead.
And one that shall requite kindness to his friends.
And he was respectful to his father's friends and military. And they respected Hannibal. That's all I want. Now, let's go back to where we were at.
And that's why, like you said, Deacon, it's important to have fathers in a black house. And that's why they say they put Section 8, welfare, food stamps, WIC, all these assistances and government assistance in place to keep the black father out of the house, so to weaken the son, to make him effeminate, docile, so that he would never avenge the enemies. He would learn to hate himself and kill people that look like him.
Esau has trained our women to pride themselves in trying to be men. And what happens is women says, I could do bad by myself. You can't do anything by yourself because 70% of the prison population was raised by you women.
Yep.
70% of the prison population was raised by you single mothers and grandmas. So you don't have a success rate in raising no men. So cut out this delusion of raising men and doing well at it. No, you're not. Even my own mother, I speak for myself. My mother told me, your father's gone. She said, I can't raise you to be a man. So she put me around my male cousins. My male cousins had both parents. She put me with them. So I learned parenthood with them.
She actually understood.
She understood.
She had the mind.
She had some sense.
But yeah, some of these sisters don't have that mind.
Right, they feel, I can do it by myself. No, you cannot do it by yourself. Thank you. You can't do it by yourself.
You guys are all right today. Yeah, who's on the thing today?
That's a new one.
Okay,
Man,
you're
you're
all
better,
right,
man.
man.
That's because they're awake.
Yeah, you recover yourself, man. Maybe it's the braids.
Got a bunch of incense around them or something.
Right. So again, this goes back to like my mom was saying. I can't raise you to be a man, so I'll put you around your male cousins. I'll put you around them. There was like what, 6 of them? It was a lot of them, and they had both their parents. You understand? They weren't like the greatest examples in the world, but it was still I was around males.
Right.
You understand? They had a sister also, like one sister, but it was still. She said, "Be around the boys. I can't raise you to be a man. You be around the boys." But you women, the ego now, their ego was so huge now. Oh, I could do it on my own. Now, I'm not saying it's impossible because the scriptures talk about women had 7 sons. It's possible, but it's difficult.
But we also don't know if the father was there and when he died, too.
Right, we don't know how long, but she said she endured education. So he obviously passed at a point where she had to do it on her own because she said she endured the years of education. So it's possible that she, in fact, did raise her 7 sons. It's not impossible. It's there.
But at the same time, though, remember, she did it, but she was around righteous people.
Right.
At that time, we was ruling in Israel.
Right.
We had the elders was at the gate. So even though she was a widow, there was
She had some form of help.
Right.
Right, there was
the
some kind
system
of-
was there to help her around.
Yes, we looked at each other back then.
Right. Right. There's a book. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, I was this time it's totally different.
Right.
We're
very
not
different.
empowered.
There's no unit. Like the book Before the Mayflower by Lerone Bennett Jr. Right?
Yes, sir.
Bennett Jr.
Lerone Bennett Jr.
I think it's page 100 and something where he talks about how in slavery, how there was. Do we have the book over here?
No, sir.
Let
But I
me
think it's
get
page
that.
137.
He mentions about how the unit of how during slavery there was a family unit. There was no baby mamas. There's no sleeping around. The man married the woman, took care of his kids, even in the fields, working 20 hours, toiling in the sun with the cotton, resting your hands up. They still had a concept of responsibility, raise my kids, marry the mother of my kids. That mindset, even though we were destroyed, that mindset was still there. Now we're worse than that. We're actually better. We were actually better minded and changed than we were now, I mean, honestly.
True, that's true.
We were actually better off in the fields
Right.
because we had a sense of who we were and what condition was. Now niggas is got their certain privileges. They think they free now.
And Deacon, like you said, you're right. That was heavy because we used to work together to escape from the
Right,
government.
right.
We knew we was brothers.
Or work together to survive.
Right. I'm saying our main goal was we got to get freedom from the
Right,
government.
right.
Hey, Deacon also in that same book, which you mentioned right now, they also said that in that same time period, if you did sleep around with a sister or whatever, the community came together and made sure you married her.
Right,
So you wasn't getting off
right.
making any baby moms.
And if you look at the scriptures in terms of strong role model, I'll start from the beginning. Christ and his father. Christ says he was always sitting near him, rejoicing. And remember that in Proverbs,
Yeah, Proverbs 8.
Always rejoicing before the Most High. He says, I was there. When the mountains was created, I was there. He was there watching his father's every move. So that's why he did a blueprint. Father the blueprint, Christ made everything else. But when he came on the earth, he said, don't you know that I'm about my Father's business? Why? Because what? He left one like himself. He trained them up. Same thing with the Maccabees. With Mattathias, when he died, what happened? His sons were just like him.
They took over.
That's why Esau knows having a father figure is in terms of the black community or Israelite community is extremely important. And they fear that.
And dangerous.
Dangerous.
Yes.
Even go to the 70s. If they had to kill off, you had Fred Hamptons, you have the Huey P. Newtons, Martin Luther Kings, Malcolm X. You think these guys were old when they got into, and became activists? No, these guys were 18, 17,
20s.
18, 19, 20. Martin Luther King's in his 20s. Malcolm X, they were young people. So we can't, it's different now.
Right. Very different now. Very different
You
now.
should make sure of that.
You make sure to
make sure
erase
of that.
that.
Yeah.
Any black Messiah that comes up will be because we raise them up.
Because if you look at it, right, like all the older singers that used to sing song about some kind of like morality,
Right.
majority of them are dead. And then now we got a bunch of new R&B singers, new artists, and they're not talking about anything. You know what I'm saying? Now the new generation that's coming up have no kind of role models.
None
whatsoever.
So we read earlier as we established a colony. We called it New Carthago or New Carthage or Cartagena, right? So we had a habit of when we established ourselves, we called it new. Give me Revelation 3 and 12.
The book of Revelation, chapter 3, verse 12. Him that overcometh will I make a pillar in a temple of my God.
Being a leading figure, one that upholds and strengthens, a pillar. Go ahead.
And he shall go no more out.
Need not go out into captivity, into slavery again. Go ahead.
And I will write upon him the name of my God.
And at that time, when he overcomes, I will give you my name. Go ahead.
And the name of the city of my God, which is New Jerusalem.
Which is New Jerusalem. New Jerusalem. Okay, go ahead.
Which cometh down out of heaven from my God. And I will write upon him my new name.
And I'll write upon him my new name. The Messiah will give you his new name as well. We'll have the Father's name and the Son's new name. Now, the point is that it says New Jerusalem. All right, now watch this. Give me Revelation 21, verse 1 to 2.
The book of Revelation, chapter 21, verse 1. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth. And for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away.
They were what?
Were passed away.
Were destroyed. Were destroyed, removed out the way. Go ahead.
And there was no more sea.
Nations is gone. That's the sea. Go ahead.
And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem.
New Jerusalem. Go ahead.
Coming down from God out of heaven.
Because the nations in Psalms 149 are going to build up those walls. Isaiah 60, Isaiah 14 is going to be so glorious, it's going to be as if it fell from heaven itself. See, we're going to give you guys jobs. See, we're merciful people. We're not that bad. We're going to give you some jobs. You're going to have some employment. Go ahead.
Say that again. Prepare as a bride adorned for her husband.
Prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. All right, so now, let's get, what else I want? Get me 2 Peter 3:13. 2 Peter 3:13.
You got me meditating, man. Well, we won't have to work. We won't have to worry about living check to check.
Nope.
Whether or not we're going to have food on our table.
Stupid Negroes making dumb comments. They'll all be dead.
Stimulus check.
Right.
Yeah, playing around for stimulus check.
Right.
Damn. Bastards. You got me.
Get cat, man.
Yo, you got me going now, man. Why you do that to me,
They're
man?
playing with your dog.
They playing my
You
emotions,
gotta
man.
talk about it, Cap. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, man, you
man, you gotta forget about that stimulus check.
No, I'll
man.
never
Yeah.
forget, man. Hey, if you want to make donations, when you make donations today, if you want to donate
Oh,
to
my
my
God.
stimulus, if the white man can't give me the stimulus, you could donate to, Captain Joel's stimulus funds.
Stimulus substitutes.
I'm hungry. And you got the power to change this.
Oh, man.
I'm broke. I'm broke. And you got the power.
Power to change that,
You
man.
got the power to, he was so adamant. Like he was going through it that time when he did that role.
Yep.
I saw it in his spirit.
He really meant that thing, man.
Yo.
I'm broke, nigga. I'm broke.
Hey, look at he said, "Hey, you got the power to change this. Israel. You want to donate to
Oh, man.
NewJersey.org. When you donate for our books, Also, to my book fund, on top of that, you could put an extra donation.
Extra
to-
one.
yeah, for Captain Joel's stimulus funds. I need help, Israel. I need help. The white man's the devil. Oh, Deacon, what do you want?
2 Peter 3:13. Sorry, Cap. Cap got
No,
lost.
that's Officer LaQuat's fault. He know how that get me. I got trigger words. 2 Peter 3, verse 13. Nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for new heavens and a new earth.
Revelation 20 and verse 1. We just read that. 21 verse 1. 21 verse 1. Yep, verse 1 and 2. Go ahead.
Wherein dwelleth righteousness.
Within dwelleth righteousness. We look for new heavens and new earth. So calling things new was something common with us. It'll be new again. We have new Jerusalem again. Get Isaiah 65 verse 17.
Isaiah what?
65:17. Everything that John was shown, Isaiah was shown just as much.
Isaiah chapter 65, verse 17. For, behold, I create new heavens and a new earth, and the former shall not be remembered, nor come into mind.
We're going to forget about it. We're going to forget about this captivity. This is an old heaven. This is an old earth. We're going to have a new heaven, new earth. We're going to forget all of that. We're going to be so happy we're going to forget everything.
Yo, Duke, you hit my spirit right now.
Read the next verse. Read the next verse. Yep.
But be ye glad and rejoice forever in that which I create. For behold, I create Jerusalem a rejoicing, and her people a joy.
Our people will be a joy. We're going to be happy, the happiest nation on the earth. Get chapter 66 and verse 22. One more.
Isaiah 66, verse 22. For as the new heavens and the new earth, which I will make, shall remain before me, saith the Lord, so shall your seed and your name remain.
So shall our seed and our name remain forever.
Damn.
Forever. We're going to be a nation forever.
All praises, man.
So the hell with New Carthage. That was temporary. You know, the second temple that was built, that was temporary. We're going to have our kingdom. It's going to stand and be built forever.
All praises.
No more problems. No more missing children. No more big mouth women and simple-minded men. That's done. It's going to be straight kingdom all day. This kingdom, joy and happiness all day. No more Biden, no more simple eating, simple voting, all that crap. It's going to be finished. It's going to be over.
Amen.
No more of that.
There will be no President Trump.
None of that.
There's no vaccines, no diseases.
None of that. Let's go back to page 47 now. It was untimely victory. It was an untimely victory.
You touching the spirit, Deacon.
Yeah, all praises. I'm trying to get myself. I gotta work today, man. I'm trying to get myself a boost.
Yo, my spirit was down today.
I'm getting depressed.
Yo, Deacon, man, you have revived me.
All praises, Cap.
You know what I'm saying? I watch war movies when I go home.
Word.
It was an untimely victory. Page 47. It was an untimely victory.
That's page 47.
Yeah, it's the bottom of the page. Go down. Right there. We're gonna stop at hold on.
You got to be a fool to leave this truth right now. Right. Yo, what else is out there? It's literally nothing out there. Literally nothing out there but diseases
And death.
and mass.
That's it.
Now, before it was herpes and AIDS and all that. Now it's coronavirus, herpes,
kind of
AIDS,
stuff.
and diseases. So what do you got to lose? What do you got to lose?
You know that they count.
You got no jobs.
Yep. Your schools are bad.
Your schools are bad.
Your neighborhoods are bad.
Your neighborhoods are bad. Now you got no food. You got no jobs. Literally no jobs.
You're burning your stores down because you're retarded.
Yeah, you're stupid. You got no brains.
Yeah.
We gotta change that black people thing.
Yeah, we're gonna change it, make it better.
Yeah, I don't like it. Black people sound like some Haitian did that.
Wow.
Wait, was
man.
it? Was it Haitian that did it?
I don't know.
Was it Levi? That sounded like quad.
You're the
It was
worst,
a
man.
Haitian.
Oh,
Not Levi, a Haitian.
you sound like Haiti there.
Oh man, oh, horrible, man. Come on, it was a timely victory. We're gonna stop at page 48 in Fresh Youth. Let's go. Come on.
It was an untimely victory. Had the Gauls been left unmolested for a few years, more they might have stopped Hannibal. But now all Gaul was aflame against Rome. Hannibal saw the opportunity he had longed for.
Come on.
to cross Gaul with little opposition and to invade Italy with the Gallic tribes as his allies.
Right, he started getting allies to fight against Rome. Go ahead.
The Punic leader was now 28 years.
Rome was ruling over us with an iron fist, as well as other people as well. Our people scattered abroad and other nations as well. So he started gaining momentum, rebuilding again. Go ahead.
The Punic leader was now 28 years old, at his prime in body and mind. In addition to a Carthaginian gentleman's schooling in the languages, literatures, and history of Phoenicia and Greece.
This Hannibal's education. In addition to Carthaginian gentleman's schooling in the languages, he was multilingual. He knew how to write. He knew history. Go ahead.
He had received a soldier's training through 19 years in camp.
Through 19 years of training. So from 9, that's 9, but 9 years old, 19 years, he's 28.
Damn.
So the man was groomed from young age in language, literature, history, as well as fighting. Go ahead, watch this.
No idle time.
Nope, watch this.
That's MOV right there. He had disciplined his body to hardship.
He had disciplined his body to hardship, to take beatings. He trained his body. Go ahead.
His appetite to moderation. His tongue to silence. His thought to objectivity.
He was very, very, intellectual. Go ahead.
He had
ambition. He had inspirations. He had motives. Go ahead.
He could run or ride with the swiftest, hunt or fight with the bravest. He was the first to enter the battle, says the hostile Levy, and the last to abandon the field.
First to jump in, last to leave out. Make sure everybody's safe. Make sure everybody come back alive.
Wow.
Go ahead.
The veterans loved him because in his commanding presence and piercing eyes, they saw their old leader Hamilcar return to them in fresh youth.
See? Sirach 30 verse 1 to 6. He saw Hamilcar all over again.
Ooh.
It was like he never died. Hamilcar didn't even die. He's right there. Alive and well through his son.
Yo, they saw him regenerated.
Right.
They were like, damn, his father ain't dead. He's right here.
Literally right here.
He's literally right here.
Wow. So he wasn't raising up his son in football
No.
or basketball or training to be, the gamer?
Gamer.
Game
right.
tournament.
Nope.
Hoop dreams.
Yeah.
All that
No
nonsense.
sports, no entertainment, none of that. Straight war.
Yep. We're going to read on the recruits, so we're going to
My
stop
man's on
them.
point today.
Go to the recruits.
You hired. Before he was,
He was about to get fired last week.
Oh, he was?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yo, I ain't gonna lie. I want to call and tell you about yourself.
Yeah, last week.
But you're right, man.
Damn. Let's keep going. We got more to read. Page 49. Keep going.
The recruits liked him because he wore no distinctive dress, never rested till he had provided for his army's needs, and shared with them all sufferings and gains.
He was like David. David was the same way.
Right.
Took out the King David, the same thing. Go ahead.
The Romans accused him of avarice, cruelty, and treachery, for he honored no scruples in seizing supplies for his troops, punished disloyalty severely.
What'd he do?
Punished disloyalty severely.
Like Hamilcar did. We didn't play with black people. We didn't play with y'all back then. Back then, we put the foot in your behind, man. We didn't play with Negroes. He punished disloyalty severely. Our forefathers punished disloyalty severely. Severely. They didn't play games with the Negro, the black people. Go ahead.
And laid many snares for his foes. Yet we find him often merciful, always chivalrous.
Chivalrous.
Nothing occurs.
Meaning he had manners. He was respectful.
Nothing occurs in the accounts of him, says the judicious Mommsen, which may not be justified under the circumstances and according to the international law of the times. The Romans could not readily forgive him for winning battles with his brains rather than with the lives of his men.
He was a genius, a war genius. Go ahead.
The tricks he played upon them, the skill of his espionage, the subtlety of his strategy.
The subtlety of his strategy. Espionage, the subtlety of his strategy. Go ahead.
The surprises of his tactics were beyond their appreciation until Carthage was destroyed.
The surprises of his tactics were beyond their appreciation until Carthage was destroyed. So the Romans, they had to respect him. We hate this nigga, but he's just so good. He's just nice.
26 years old.
26 years old. This guy was groomed to be a warrior. We got that other stuff we got, Jazz, that book, the other source?
Yes, sir.
Let's pull that up. Let's pull that up. Just some more detail on his upbringing.
Come on. Right here.
The middle one?
To your right, to your right.
To the right, middle one.
Right there.
We're starting at.
Though most of the youth's life was passed in the camp, his education was carefully attended to. Besides the culture belonging to Phoenicians of rank in his time, Hannibal had a good knowledge of the Greek language.
He spoke Greek. Go ahead.
He was light and firmly built in his bodily frame and was an excellent runner, a skillful rider, and a good
We
swordsman.
just read that. And he didn't read that part. He was a good swordsman. Go ahead.
He had remarkable powers of endurance, which enable him to hold out against fatigue, hunger, and loss of sleep.
So he what? He put his body through hardship. Go ahead.
He soon distinguished himself for his military valor and was fighting by the side of his father when the latter was slain. Okay,
Is that it?
that's it.
That's all you need? All right. That's all I need. Yeah, that's good. So that's more detail on his upbringing. All right? Dude was a monster. Dude was a monster.
What happened to us?
Niggas are born. Let's continue where we at.
And plus GMOs.
Yeah, and GMOs and yeah.
We're not there, Cap.
Fathers were removed from the house.
Wow, we fell.
Bad.
It's crazy because that now.
I'm sorry,
I
niggas. Not were born. Niggas were created. I'm sorry, we were created in America. That's what happened.
Right.
We were they were reinforced in America. Niggas always are around since Cain.
Deacon.
What you saying, Adon?
Oh, Adon's speaking.
Adon's gonna talk now.
Oh, praise it.
The mute is speaking.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I keep
Everybody
on
stop.
hearing this, but I always keep on thinking on Colombia, which is they also got Cartagena, which is Carthage.
Nobody. Oh, that's what it means.
Yeah,
My
yeah,
man doing some
Carthage.
Spanish,
Cartagena,
brother.
that's
Bro,
how
we
you
done
say
with
it,
Northern Kingdom
Cartagena.
segment, bro.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
Cartagena,
saying?
Carthage in
You can leave that in the
Colombia.
past.
And that's Asher, right? Which is Asher, right? So the strategists know that. I keep on thinking on like they're it's bad to say, but they're drug lords. So they're not dumb. They go to school. They learn. The way they act is the same way that Hannibal was acting.
Right.
So like everything that I read right now, I always go back to Colombia and so forth. I'm like, damn. So they got the same spirit, but now like in evil
and
terms.
wickedness.
Right.
So Cartagena is in
what you
Colombia.
trying to
Yo,
say,
Cartagena is Colombia.
That's not a
Carthage.
coincidence because Cartagena is Asher and that's Hannibal
Yeah.
numbers.
So Hannibal's a drug dealer now.
Probably.
I don't know, maybe.
He might be.
Because remember,
He wasn't holy.
Hey, he like,
because
now Hannibal
in the beginning,
Hannibal right
Cap,
now.
Cap.
Fucking, he's doing.
Cap, if you look at it, those cartel men, they're
genius.
ruthless.
Educated.
They're educated one, and they're
know how they-
ruthless.
and
You
guess
know how
who they
they
use for transportation? Zebulon.
Right.
Asher and Zebulon.
Right,
They
work
use
together.
Asher used Zebulon for transporting their goods.
There you go.
Yo,
You know how the cartels are geniuses? When the U.S. government has to work beside them.
Right. They can't conquer them. We got
can't
can't
conquer.
beat them. Join them.
So that's how you know they're on a whole nother level.
How you been eternal from Mexico all the way to damn California?
How do you break out of a
underground?
How do you break out of a prison?
Yes.
With a motorcycle and a flashlight.
Yo, how do you
waiting
build
for
a tunnel from America to the prison?
My man
Break him
Chapo.
out.
My man Chapo, man.
Yeah.
Yo, he broke out
El
of prison.
Chapo.
Out of prison, yep.
Think about the genius behind that. You see that in movies.
Right.
The evil
right,
genius.
right.
But those kingdoms were always industrious. They were always, even Issachar, they were always, till now, always industrious and always intellectual in terms of creativity and like you said, in terms of the intellect, and even for evil, unfortunately, that as well, you know? But where we at? We're on page 48, and
In 219 BC. Is that what you
we
want?
got something else about Hannibal, about the Semitic thing?
Yes, sir.
Let's get that first. Then we'll continue where we left off.
Give me the next page.
Let's get out the way, because I don't forget it. I don't want to miss anything.
It's only one sentence.
That's fine. Just to show that he was not Ham. Whereas they say Phoenician, so he was Ham. So watch this.
So this is on Hannibal. The Semitic genius is grand, poetic, fierce, but is destitute of humor. We know but of one celebrated man of Semitic lineage
Of Semitic lineage. Go ahead.
that loved a jest. The Carthaginian Hannibal.
See that? So he was of Semitic lineage, not language, lineage. meaning he was of northern. He was Israel, the child of Israel. He was not a Hamite. All right, he was not a Hamite. Neither was his father. All right. So now that's all you want from
Yes,
there,
sir,
right?
that's it.
That's all you
We
need.
done with that.
Let that go. So let's go back to page 48 in 219.
In 219 BC, blow it up. In 219 BC, Roman agents organized in Saguntum a coup d'etat that set up a government patriotically hostile to Carthage. When the Saguntines...
So Roman agents, see that? Esau got Roman agents causing all kind of coup d'etat. They do that in Haiti all the time. They do that in South America all the time. Set up agents are called to disrupt government and cause problems.
In Africa.
And cause war. And in Africa, cause war. This is a Edomite tactic that's been going on for ages. Even on the other side of the world, the Americans, Native Americans, they cause tribal wars.
Not today,
Same
SPLC.
thing. Not today, SPLC, BBC, shadow government, all of that stuff. Even the movie Black Panther, Killmonger was the person they used to do those things, to destabilize governments. They call them the jackals. Go ahead.
When the Saguntines molested tribes friendly to him, Hannibal ordered them to desist. When they refused, he besieged the city. Rome protested to Carthage and threatened war. Carthage replied that since Saguntum was 100 miles south of the Ebro, Rome had no right to interfere and had, by signing an alliance with it, violated her treaty with Hasdrubal. Hannibal persisted in the siege and Rome took up arms again, never dreaming that this second Punic War was to be the most terrible in her history.
Go ahead.
Hannibal spent 8 months in subduing the Saguntines. He did not dare advance toward Italy while leaving to the Romans so excellent a port for landing in his rear. In 218, he crossed the Ebro.
The Ebro. Keep that word in mind, the Ebro. Keep that word in mind. Word's going to come to be important later on. The word, the Ebro. Go ahead. I believe so, Ebro. I think it's Ebro. We'll keep going.
Challenging fate as Caesar would at the
Rubicon.
He had an army of 50,000 infantry and 9,000 cavalry. None of them mercenaries, most of them Spaniards and Libyans. 3,000 Spaniards deserted when they learned that he planned to cross the Alps, and Hannibal released 7,000 others who
The
protested.
Spaniards are the Jakes that lived in Spain. It's not Edomites. This is Jakes that lived in Spain. Remember, Hannibal resided in Africa. So you had Israelites that resided in Spain, so they're called Spaniards. These are black Spaniards. We read earlier how in Babylon Timbuktu, Hannibal commanded his army in what? In the Hebrew language. He commanded his army in the Hebrew language, and to read Babylon Timbuktu. So this army of his is our people from different regions and different parts of the world who were oppressed by Rome in different lands that they gained power over when Carthage lost their territories, including the Gauls. The Gauls also, that was Jake as well. In fact, I think we mentioned Gauls before, a few classes ago. How that was Jake. Some of them was Jake. The
Yes,
Gauls.
sir, we did. With the Scythians.
With Scythians, right? They were Gauls. You had Jake Gauls as well.
Right.
These are all Jakes here, rallying together, different parts of lands that Rome was taxing and giving a hell of a time. Hannibal ran around, rallied them up, and said, "Let's fight against Rome. We all have a common enemy. We're fighting each other. Let's stop fighting each other and fight against Rome." That's what he's doing. He's gaining an army now. He's building an army now. He's building morale.
And Deacon, you know the goals were Israel too. When you look at the history, I have a book of what's the book? It's an old. No.
Okay.
It's an old something about slavery for Jake's sister. I should have brought it. I didn't think about it. But she goes into the history of Spartacus.
Okay.
Merit. Spartacus was the actual historical figure along with Crixus. These are real figures. Crixus was considered a Gaul. Remember during that time period. So yeah.
Yeah, Spartacus was a Thracian.
Yeah, Thracian.
Okay.
So these are all Israelite slaves
Right.
that the Roman army captured and made them to slaves. They made them to train them to be gladiators. So the Gauls was amongst, and the Thracians and the Gauls, even though we're the same people, we have problems against each other.
Right.
So even in the show, they show the connection. They say, "Yo, brother," all that.
Right.
So those are all our people: the Gauls, the Thracians.
Right. Gauls, Thracians, Scythians. These are all our people. The different titles, based upon the lands they live in. They were called by these titles, but it was our people. Go ahead. So the Gauls you read about earlier says the Gauls, the Gallic tribes, and as its allies, that's us. Gallic is Gaulic tribes living among these lands. Above in the page 48. Let's continue.
3,000 Spaniards deserted when they learned that he had planned to cross the Alps, and Hannibal released 7,000 others who protested against his enterprise.
3,000. You gonna do what? You gonna cross the Alps with elephants? Now we dipping. We out. You crazy. So 3,000 of them opted out. Go ahead.
And Hannibal released 7,000 others who protested against his enterprise as
So
impossible.
he lost 10,000 troops now. This is crazy. What you're doing is suicide. This is insane. Go ahead.
It was hard enough to force a passage through the
Pyrenees.
Pyrenees. It was hard enough to force a passage through the Pyrenees. More unexpected was the fierce resistance of some Gallic tribes, allied with Marsilius. A summer of fighting was required to reach the Rhone, and a major battle to cross it. He had hardly left its banks when a Roman army arrived at the mouth of the river. Hannibal led his troops north toward Vienne, and then struck eastward into the Alps. Celtic hordes had crossed those ranges before him.
Celtic hordes. Yep. Celtic hordes. Yeah. Go ahead.
Celtic hordes had crossed those ranges before him, and he too might have done it without extraordinary hardship, had it not been for the hostility of the Alpine tribes and the difficulty of getting his elephants through narrow or precipitous passages. Early in September, after a climb of 9 days, he reached the summit and found it covered with snow.
Oh, wait. I don't go past that word. Give me a second. 1 second. Give me 1 second. Real quick. I don't want to be.
Was that precipitous?
Yeah, I don't want to be just over it. See what that word means.
They're showing the military genius.
Precipitous, and it
Oh.
means dangerously high or steep. Precipitous.
Okay, Esau, precipitous.
Yeah, okay,
Precipitous.
whatever.
All right.
Precipitous?
Higher precipitous
I
means
see, you
higher.
got, I see you got your white boy trained, Deacon.
Yeah.
He says precipitous.
Precipitous.
trained up.
Yeah,
He got him
precipitous.
trained up real well.
Precipitous passages, meaning so he was climbing high mountains, and it was very steep, very narrow. He has giant elephants crossing mountains, and they all remember if they're falling off, he's losing some of them. They're falling. It's steep, it's narrow, it's dangerous. This is a dangerous endeavor, but it was unexpected to the Romans for someone to do that, to come from that route, because Hannibal was a genius. Go ahead.
Early in September, after a climb of 9 days, he reached the summit and found it covered with snow. There, he let his men and animals rest for 2 days, and then began the downward march through passes steeper than the ascent. Over roads sometimes buried by landslides and often paved with ice. Many soldiers and beasts lost their footing and tumbled to their deaths. Hannibal spurred on his despairing forces by pointing out to them, in the distant south, the green fields and sparkling streams of Italy.
So he said, listen, you see that right there? You see down there, the green? That's our destination. He's trying to inspire them. Listen, I know we're losing men, we're dying out here, but look, if you look above the horizon, you see Italy's right there for the taking. It's right there. They don't see us coming. He was trying to motivate them. Go ahead.
That paradise he promised them would soon be theirs. After 17 days in the Alps, they reached the plain and rested. So many men and horses had been lost in the crossing that the army was now reduced to 26,000, less than half the force that had left New Carthage.
Less than half. So what he suffered was referred to as a Pyrrhic victory. A Pyrrhic victory is a victory that is offset by staggering losses, as in the campaign was so divisive that even though he won the election, it was Pyrrhic victory. This expression alludes to a kind Pyrrhus who defeated the Romans at Escalum in 279 BC, but lost his best officers and many of his troops. So basically, it's a win, but at a huge cost.
Right, yeah.
So he won, but it was at a very devastating cost. A Pyrrhic victory is referred to as. Pyrrhic victory. Go ahead.
Less than half the force that had left New Carthage 4 months before. Had the Cisalpine Gauls resisted him as the Transalpine Gauls had done.
You had different kind of Gauls. You had Japhetic Gauls, you had Jake Gauls, you had Edom Gauls. So which Gauls these were, I don't know. But they were resisting him. You had some that were not on his side. Go ahead.
Hannibal's progress might have ended there.
Right. So had he had to fight against them. Remember, he's crossing Alps, going up these mountains, snow-capped mountains, and he's fighting people that live in the mountains. Then he comes down the mountain, he's fighting down the mountain. So it's a battle just to get to the next battle. It's a lot going on.
And still having that courage to keep
Right,
up
to
to still get to the destination before that was before him.
Because they see it. They're on the mountain. They see the grass, see Italy right there. Go ahead.
Hannibal's progress might have ended there, but the boy and other tribes welcomed him as a savior and joined him as allies.
Right, so he ended up getting some reinforcements, go ahead, who saw him.
While the recently established Roman settlers fled southward across the Po. Faced with this second threat in 7 years to the very life of Rome, the Senate mobilized all its resources and called upon the states of Italy to unite in the defense of their land. With their help, Rome raised armies totaling 300,000 foot, 14,000 horse, and 456,000 reserves.
Damn.
One army under the first of many famous Scipios.
Well, wait, one army under what?
Under the first of many famous Scipios.
Under the first of many famous Scipios. There was many of them, Scipios, but there's two in particular that were famous. Go ahead.
Met Hannibal along the Ticino, a small river flowing into the Po at Pavia. Hannibal's Numidian cavalry put the Romans to flight.
Numidia is the southern portion of Carthage. So you're a Numidian. Numidia or Numidia is pretty much Carthaginians as well. This is a different area of it, different landmass of it. That's what it is. Numidia. It's nothing special. To say it's Carthage also, it's a different part of it. Hold on, make sure I don't want to go ahead. Keep going. Yeah, keep going. Go ahead.
Hannibal's Numidian cavalry put the Romans to flight, and Scipio, dangerously wounded, was saved by the brave interposition of the son who was destined to meet Hannibal again at Zama.
We had the part again. Hannibal's what? Numidian army what?
Hannibal Numidian cavalry put the Romans to flight, and Scipio, dangerously wounded, was saved by the brave interposition of the son who was destined to meet Hannibal again at Zama 16 years later.
So he wounded the father of Scipio, but Scipio, the son, would encounter him again and defeat him later on. So he tried to kill the father. The father made it, but he was wounded. He was gravely wounded, but he would come across the son of that man later on and meet him later on, 16 years later. Go ahead.
At Lake Trasimene.
So it's Scipio Sr. and you have Scipio Jr. Go ahead. We'll get to that later. Go ahead.
At Lake Trasimene, Hannibal encountered another Roman army, 30,000 strong, led by the tribune Caius Flaminius, and accompanied by slave dealers bringing fetters and chains for the prospective prisoners whom they hoped to sell.
Them dudes are so arrogant. They came. We're gonna fight this dude with chains. So we beat you. We can sell you as slaves.
We got slaves.
They're arrogant as hell. Go ahead.
They already won the battle.
Right. We already won. Up in the chains. We're gonna win anyway. Go ahead.
With part of his forces, Hannibal decoyed this army into a plain surrounded by hills and woods that concealed most of his troops. At his signal, the hidden columns debouched upon the Romans from every side and killed nearly all of them, including Flaminius himself.
So Hannibal killed them. Hannibal was a genius. Even with less men, he was still kicking behind and taking names. Go ahead.
Hannibal now controlled all northern Italy.
Now we got North Italy, baby. Now we got North Italy. We started taking it, we took it back. Go ahead.
But he knew that he was still outnumbered 10-1 by a resolute foe.
But he was still had more to go. Go ahead.
His only hope lay in persuading.
Imagine if he had this whole military.
Yeah, he would have had. Yeah.
And he lost
They
most of
say
his
historians
best
say that if Hannibal had won, this world would be run by Carthaginians deep until now. That was the case, but it wasn't our time.
Hey,
It was not our time.
And Deacon, Esau is still from Hannibal's brilliancy. Esau is still studying his tactics.
Yeah, till now.
Military.
So now, military tactics. So now.
At least some of the Italian states to revolt against Rome, he released all prisoners whom he had taken from Rome's allies, saying that he had come not to fight Italy but to set it free. He marched through the flooded Etruria, where 4 days no dry land could be found on which to pitch a camp across the Apennines to the Adriatic, and there allowed his soldiers a long interval to refresh their energies and heal their wounds.
Right, they got a chance to rest. Go ahead. They found respite. Go ahead.
He himself suffered from severe
Ophthalmia.
ophthalmia.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah, we gotta look that up. I don't know what
It's
that
not an Negro word.
So Israel, what we trying to do is pronounce the words correctly now.
Right.
So that's what we in.
Trying to do that.
Oh, we doing that now?
We doing that now.
All right,
okay?
cool.
Ophthalmia.
I've been winging it for years.
Yeah, so that's the new thing now that we implementing, trying to pronounce these words
What app you
correctly.
guys using? 'Cause I need it.
Ophthalmia.
Wait, what is it?
Ophthalmia. It's the
Ophthalmia.
ophthalmia. Ophthalmia is the inflammation of the eye, especially conjunctivitis.
Okay.
Inflammation of the eyes. So his eyes got puffy. Yeah, puffiness in his eyes. His
All right,
eyes,
so we take it to the next level.
eyes got infected.
Oph-
Ophthalmia.
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 So let me read that again.
He himself.
He himself suffered from severe ophthalmia, took no time to treat it, and lost the use of one eye.
Damn. So he went blind in one eye.
Oof.
See, he was wasting time. He didn't treat it. So I guess he finally got around to it. He lost one eye in the process.
Remember, Deacon, he didn't care. Remember, he had that endurance that he would.
Yeah.
The hardship
he
kicked
the
in.
hardship kicked in. He didn't care.
Then he marched down the eastern coast, inviting the Italian tribes to join him. None did. On the contrary, every city closed its gates against him and prepared to fight.
Damn, go ahead.
As he moved south, his Gallic allies interested only in their northern homes, began to desert
They
him.
went back home. Go ahead, because he won back their homes from them for Rome. So they said, okay, we got our land back, so we out. We on. They were grimy. I said, the hell with you. You took the land back. We good.
Plots against his life were so numerous that he had to assume ever new disguises.
We hear it again.
Wow.
Damn.
Plots against his life were so numerous that he had to assume ever new disguises.
He had to disguise himself, so no one would kill him. Go ahead.
He begged his government to send him supplies and men by some Adriatic port. It refused.
See, the government was wicked as hell.
He asked his younger brother Hasdrubal, whom he had left in Spain to
So Hasdrubal, younger brother, Hasdrubal was up in Spain. So we still had Spain. But we had the mines, the silver mines there. Remember that? We had the mines there. Go ahead.
Deacon, that sounds like they took that from the movie 300.
Right.
That same exact scene.
Obey the Kanye, Spartans.
Remember he said, yo, they begged to get more warriors to send to him?
Right, and he wouldn't do it.
They wouldn't do it.
He asked his younger
Well,
brother.
that's about part 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's part 2, yeah. Go ahead.
He asked his younger brother Hasdrubal, whom he had left in Spain, to organize an army and cross Gaul and the Alps to join him. But the Romans had invaded Spain, and Hasdrubal did not dare to leave it.
Wait. He asked again.
He asked his younger brother Hasdrubal, whom he had left in Spain, to organize an army and cross Gaul and the Alps to join him.
Come join me. Go ahead.
But the Romans had invaded Spain,
Rome attacked Spain. Go ahead.
and Hasdrubal did not dare to leave it.
So I'm not leaving. I'm going to stay here and defend Spain. Go ahead.
10 years were to pass before his coming.
10 years he finally came. Go ahead.
Rome now adopted against her greatest adversary his own baffling policy of caution and attrition. Quintus Fabius Maximus, made dictator in 217, created an adjective by delaying as long as he could a direct engagement with Hannibal. In time, he believed the invaders would be reduced by hunger, discord, and disease. After a year, this masterly inaction irritated the Roman populace. The assembly overruled the Senate.
Wait. I don't read too far. I think I skipped the page. We have page 49, Northern Italy, and at page 51, Hannibal lost. Okay, keep going.
After a year,
We're going to end at page 51, 2,000 years. Keep going.
After a year, this masterly inaction irritated the Romans' populace. The assembly overruled the Senate, as well as all against Fabius' advice. Minucius advanced against the enemy, fell into a trap, was severely beaten, thereafter understood why Hannibal said that he feared Fabius, who would not fight more than Marcellus, who would. A year later, Fabius was deposed, and the Roman armies were entrusted to Lucius Aemilius Paulus and Cassius Terentius Varro. Paulus, the aristocrat, counseled caution. Varro and the plebes were all for action, and an unusual caution.
And as usual.
And as usual, caution lost the argument.
Yeah.
Varro sought and found the Carthaginians at Cannae in Apulia, some 10 miles from the Adriatic coast. The Romans had 80,000 infantry, 6,000 cavalry.
A lot. 86,000. Go ahead.
Hannibal had 19,000 veterans, 16,000 unreliable Gauls,
Damn.
10,000 horse, and he had lured Varro to fight in a broad plain ideal for cavalry. He had placed the Gauls at his center, expecting that they would give way. They did, and when the Romans followed them into the pocket, the subtle Carthaginian himself, in the thick of the fray, ordered his veterans to close in upon the Roman flanks and bade his cavalry smash through the opposed horsemen to attack the legions from behind.
Surrounded them. Go ahead.
The Roman army was surrounded, lost all chance of maneuvering, and was almost annihilated. 44,000 of them fell, including Paulus and 80
Senators.
senators. Where we at?
He killed half.
He
of
killed,
their
he
military.
killed a whole bunch of them, man.
More than half.
Outnumbered and
And
still
he had less men.
Yeah.
and had way less men. Go
From
ahead.
80,000, killed 40,000 with 19,000 men.
Yeah.
80 senators who had enlisted as soldiers. 10,000 escaped to Canisium, among them Varro and the Scipio, who was to win the surname of Africanus.
Ah. Mayor.
Africanus Mayor.
So he escaped too. Scipius was there. Scipius Africanus Minor. I think that's minor, I believe. Go ahead.
Hannibal lost 6,000 men, 2/3 of them Gauls. It was a supreme example of generalship, never bettered in history. It ended the days of Roman reliance upon infantry and set the lines of military tactics for 2,000 years.
See that? He set the lines of military tactics for 2,000 years. Hannibal set the precedent for generalship and military tactics that lasted 2,000 years. Damn. So we're going to take a break with that. We'll be back. So stay tuned. Be patient. We'll be back with some more information. Shalom.
Shalom.
Park. We were at the Wendy's earlier with a group, but this is a second group. Of course, this here is Israel United in Christ, and then of course across the street you have other folks.
They screaming peace when there ain't no peace. Israel prophesying in the streets. Look at me, the center of attention. Black Messiah coming with a vengeance. Coming with a vengeance. Black Messiah coming with a vengeance. They screaming peace, it ain't no peace. We prophesying in the streets. We seeking peace in the streets of Babylon. Branderson, Glock 40s, tucking heat like a carry-on. Sinning against the fathers, got us sleeping, not napping on. Christ the King revealed, that's aerial phenomenon. Kicking against the pricks, lose your soul when that fire comes. We purify better than gold, got my Bible on. And that's all that I know, when Babylon gon' fall, watch it blow, ayy. Switching it up, the nation's gon' drink it. I'm talking the cup, don't care what you thinking. Believe in the gospel, God is thinking. The fires of heaven gon' gather for dinner. To eat up the flesh, the wicked, the sinner. Your mama, your sister, your daddy, your cousin. If they issue, if they mind, they don't repent. They screaming peace when there ain't no peace. Israel prophesying in the streets. Look at me, the center of attention. Black Messiah coming with a vengeance. Coming with a vengeance. Black Messiah coming with a vengeance. They screaming peace, it ain't no peace. We prophesying in the streets.
IUICC, we in the streets with it. Beasts with it, with the kings and the priests with it. My people sleeping, got them dreaming in the sheets with it. So we spit that holy fire, bringing heat with it. We out here fighting for better days. Most sins make better slaves. Gotta come together on the 7th day. Lose 11 and I levitate. 1 + 11 heaven gates. 12 tribes, no reprobates. Kingdom come, I can never wait. But the patient saints never separate. Christ coming back with a legion of them angels. Picture perfect prophecies, trying to find my angle. Hung up from a tree and they watch his body dangle. So the vengeance of the Lord coming down, you in danger.
They screaming peace when there ain't no peace. Israel prophesying in the streets. Look at me, the center of attention. Black Messiah coming with a vengeance. Coming with a vengeance. Black Messiah coming with a vengeance. They screaming peace, it ain't no peace. We prophesying in the streets.
Golden wedges of Ophir. Look at here, we the prophets of the Most High, the only God I fear. Killing your career as a Christian, shed a tear. Jesus take the wheel, I'ma let the scripture steer. Joseph interpret dreams, but I don't think he could imagine it. See, in the last days, Jacob told him this would happen.
And we letting loose, we some loose cannon. Patient saints on the scene, and this kingdom we commanded. Purple and gold, no LeBron James. With King Christ, we gon' see better days. Now you not free cause you got money, you a slave. The Most High on his throne, beholding all thy ways. They screaming peace when there ain't no peace. Israel prophesying in the streets. Look at me, the center of attention. Black Messiah coming with a vengeance. Coming with a vengeance. Black Messiah coming with a vengeance. They screaming peace, it ain't no peace. We prophesying in the streets.
come to play. Cause the captain hit me up with the key joint. Oh yeah, I said I'm fine, we can do it for the truth. Have the lost gathered up and do it for the dudes. Dribble, let's move. Think they gonna treat us like some fools? Nah, we had to be the light to the ones been assimilated. Preach out the laws and the lies get eliminated. We should leave a whole menorah inside of you in. Cause I said we taking over, are you in? And there ain't gonna be no arguing. Cause when that 12 trumpet sound, they gonna argue in. These devils ain't prep for the fight. That dragon open the bite, but the old serpent is leaving all of these open. And so the 12 fiending to strike back with the power of Christ stacked with all of his might. That's like
Ancien Christian, c'est yon façon pour nous être docile. On l'évangile qui contradit par la Bible. Les vérités à dévoiler et nous connaît côté sorti. 12. Mettez main dans l'air et si t'es 12. Let's bring it back. The original royale, bon voyage, hitting the four corners, teaching them God page by page. They don't know how we do it, I say it's all in the wrist like a corsage. This is spiritual barrage. Shots is fire, so we respond by rising like a croissant. Island by island, we try and bring a tribe in. Picture us side by side like a collage. The nation smell death from the inner. We just gotta recollect and remember us. In the land we possessed by the enemy. Bring it back, all the breath in our image, fresh in our memory. Blessed be identity, beyond infinity. Death when I limit. This is for the 12, like a lunch break. Hit the devil with a pump fake. Let's be the funk sway. Ancien Christian, c'est yon façon pour nous être docile. On l'évangile qui contradit par la Bible. Les vérités à dévoiler et nous connaît côté sorti. 12 tribes, stay strong. You unite, stay strong. 12 tribes, stay strong. You unite.
Pop, Lady Judah, ensemble sur même track, on connaît la trap, nous fait l'IHAD. 12-3B, Israélite, 12-3B, Israélite, Lévi, Judah, Lévi, Judah, Lévi, Judah, Lévi, Lévi, Judah.
Teacher, turn that thing up.
ancestors' memories give me energy. Every time I speak the truth in these similes. I seen people stand up against the enemy and watch their character get assassinated like Kennedy. To infinity and beyond the projects. We were sent to the hood to refine your mindset, but they coming up in oppositions against the one that was heaven sent. I guess they did like they medicine, subjugation in this wicked nation. The gates of hell won't prevail even with the eyes we facing. The God that we serve bringing down their devastation. That's why all the real saints gonna have patience. We already nah.
Drop and roll as our bodies hit the flow. Taking our land from us wasn't enough. They wanted more buffalo skulls, plus injected with smallpox. Sweet words to the cheek, them kisses jaded just like the locks. Taking over blocks, green lights, we are non-stop. I tried to be a devil, got converted like drop tops. If keys open doors like some dancers, we pop locks. The Israelites is everywhere, they know we a hot topic. I'm saying we make more change than counting 100 pennies, or someone who made a milli off selling his soul for dough. We ain't niggas no more, don't use hands no more. Rather the Bible to slap out all of that idol worship and devil courtship. Ain't a game, I don't need sportsmanship, especially after how you tortured us. Damn, this is the end of the road for you. Kingdom coming down, forever smoking. It's beautiful.
Hey, shalom, shalom. We're back from commercial break. Welcome to Our Hidden History Radio.
History.
Oh man, we gotta figure out another way to.
That was pleasant, Cap.
Can we vote on this, Deacon?
No, we're not gonna. Yeah, we're gonna think of something, but not gonna do that again. We're not gonna say history ever again.
Why? It's different.
That was horrible. You
didn't like it?
And plagiarism, because that's.
It's not. Hey, did Isaiah plagiarize Jeremiah?
Oh no.
Jeremiah plagiarized Isaiah.
No, I'm not doing it with you, man. I'm not doing this with you. It's horrible, man. Let's go to.
We should take a vote with the callers.
We'll take a call. Well, yeah, yes. Let's do.
A slogan.
Yes. Should we take calls first, or should we do it?
Let's take calls.
Let's take a call. Let's take a call first. Take a call first. We got time. Just gotta keep it short because I want to get through this. I want to finish this page. I gotta get through this page, y'all. So keep it short and simple. If you're gonna call us. I don't know the number. I forgot the number.
Put
Number's
the
on
number.
screen.
It's right there.
Numbers on the screen, right? Because I don't. Yeah. Okay. There you go. 267-702. Right? I can't see that.
Yes.
6121. Yeah. 267-702-6121. You can call and comment. I want to call. You're more than welcome. Just keep it short and sweet because I want to get through this page.
Oh, I haven't done this one before.
What you gonna do now?
So how we doing this?
What's your name? Where you calling from?
Call it you live.
Yo, call in. Hey, we on? Somebody call?
They're calling now. No, yet? You ain't calling yet?
All right.
So we're just going to continue. I guess they're probably just watching.
Hey, just let us know, man.
Let us know. Yeah, let us know. And we'll
I don't know how
stop.
this worked yet.
We'll figure it out.
It's new.
Go to Meanwhile, page 52. Meanwhile, I guess everybody's just soaking it in. I guess.
So you do. So, how you call? How you doing? What's your name? And that's it.
Really? Now you gonna do it now? Yes. Yes.
He practicing on the air.
Practicing on the air. Yes.
Oh, praise it. Meanwhile.
Meanwhile,
Right
page
there.
52. Yep. Yeah.
Right there.
We're gonna read all the way to page 54, but not. It's not much. Well, it is. But let's just get through it. Come on.
Meanwhile, a Roman army under the two older Scipios had been sent to Spain to keep Hasdrubal occupied.
Mm-hmm.
They defeated him at the Ebro. But both of them were soon afterward killed in battle, and their gains were being lost when their son and nephew Scipio Africanus was dispatched to the Spanish command.
When their son and nephew Scipio Africanus was dispatched to the Spanish command. Go ahead.
He was but 24, far below the legal age for so responsible a position, but the Senate was willing to stretch the Constitution to save the state. And the Assembly was by this time voluntarily subordinating itself to the Senate. Can the people see the page? All right. Yeah. Subordinating itself to the state. The people admired him not only because he was handsome and eloquent, intelligent and brave, but pious, courteous, and just. It was his custom, before undertaking an enterprise, to commune with the gods in the temples on the capital, and after his victories, to reward them with hecatombs. He believed or represented himself to be a favorite of heaven.
Here we go again.
With confidence. He soon restored discipline among the troops, captured Nova Carthago.
He captured New Carthage. Go ahead, Spain, go ahead.
After a long siege, and scrupulously turned over to the treasury the precious metal and stones that there fell into his hands. Most of the Spanish cities surrendered to him, and by 205 BC, Spain had become a Roman province.
So he had treachery. He had gained the precious metal and stones that there fell into his hands from Spain. Keep that in mind. Keep going.
Nevertheless, Hasdrubal's main force had escaped and now crossed Gaul and the Alps into Italy.
So Hasdrubal managed to escape them sieging Spain. He wants to go help Hannibal. Go ahead, like he told him. Go ahead.
The young leader's message to Hannibal was intercepted, and his plan of campaign was revealed to Rome.
So somehow his communication with Hannibal, Hasdrubal's communication with Hannibal was intercepted, and they realized he was on his way to help assist Hannibal. Go ahead.
The young leader's message to Hannibal was intercepted, and his plan of campaign revealed to Rome. A Roman army met his modest force at the Materus River and defeated him despite his excellent generalship. Seeing the battle lost and all hope of reaching his brother gone, Hasdrubal leaped into the midst of the legions and took death in his stride.
Damn. So he fought. He said, I'm going to die. I'm about to go out in a bang. Go out. Go ahead.
The Roman historians, perhaps romancing, tell us that the victor cut off the youth's head and sent it through Apulia, to be cast over the ramparts into Hannibal's camp.
So the Roman historians say that they took Hasdrubal's head and they threw it up and it rolled into where Hannibal was at. All right, that's what they say. That's what it said, that they took his head and threw it in Hannibal, for Hannibal to see. Go ahead.
Broken in spirit by the fate of a brother whom he had dearly loved, Hannibal withdrew his thinned out forces to Bruttium. No action was fought with him this year, says Livy, nor did the Romans care to disturb him. So great was the reputation of his powers, even while his cause was everywhere round him crumbling into ruin. Carthage sent him 100 ships laden with men and food, but a gale drove the vessels to Sardinia, where a Roman fleet sank or captured 80 of them. The rest fled home.
So he started losing. Hannibal's losing now. So Hannibal, after they killed his brother, Rome said, listen, we got respect for you. We'll let you mourn for your brother. Then they resumed battle. He tried to get reinforcements. A gale came, messed up his ships. The Romans intercepted his ships, it was going bad now. So at this point, Hannibal is losing the battle now. He's losing. Go ahead.
In 205 BC, young Scipio, fresh from his victories in Spain, was chosen consul, raised a new army, and sailed for Africa. The Carthaginian government appealed to Hannibal to come to the help of the city that had so long refused to support him. How shall we imagine the feelings of the half-blind warrior, driven into a corner of Italy by an endless stream of enemies, seeing all his toil and hardships of 15 years brought to nothing, and all his triumphs summoned up to futility and flight. Half of his troops refused to embark with him for Carthage. According to hostile historians, he had 20,000 of them killed for disobedience and for fear that Rome might add them to her legions.
Go back. I'm sorry, I missed something. Read it again.
Half of his troops refused to embark with him for Carthage. According to hostile historians, he had 20,000 of them killed for disobedience.
Damn.
And for fear that Rome might add them to her legions. Touching his native soil after an absence of 36 years, he hastily formed a new army and went out to face Scipio at Zama, 50 miles south of Carthage, 202 BC. The two generals met in a courteous interview, found agreement impossible, and joined battle.
So they had a conversation first. Let's talk first. They could not agree on terms. They said, all right, the hell with it, let's fight. So they decided to go fight, him and Scipio.
Be like, surrender now, I'll save your man. No, you surrender, or
Right.
I'll save your man. You know what? The hell with it.
Right, let's just fight. Let's see what happens. Go ahead.
For the first time in his life, Hannibal was defeated. The Carthaginians, mostly mercenaries, gave ground before the Roman infantry and the reckless cavalry of Massinissa.
Massinissa.
Oh, gosh.
This dude, yo, listen. This dude was the worst. This is a Jake. Massinissa was the worst. He was a king of Numidia. He was like a rival Carthaginian. All right? He was like a clown. All right? Massinissa. Go ahead. But we'll get to him in a few seconds. Go ahead.
Massinissa, the Numidian king. 20,000 Carthaginians were left dead on the field. Hannibal, now 45, fought with the energy of youth, attacked Scipio in personal combat.
So he came and hit Scipio personally. Ooh. They had a one-on-one. Go ahead.
Attacked Scipio in personal combat and wounded him.
And he hurt him. He beat him. Go ahead. He wounded. Go ahead.
Attacked Massinissa.
Then he attacked Massinissa. Massinissa was a coon. He sided with the Romans. Go ahead.
Reformed his disordered forces again and again and led them in desperate countercharges.
So he was trying. Hannibal was trying to rout. He was losing, but he was trying his best. He was going out with a fight. Go ahead.
When all hope fled, he eluded capture.
He ran. He escaped. Go ahead.
Rode to Carthage. Announced that he had lost not only a battle but the war, and advised the Senate to sue for peace. Scipio was generous. He allowed Carthage to retain her African empire, but demanded the surrender of all her war vessels except 10 trimeries.
Yeah.
She was not to make war outside of Africa or within it without Rome's consent.
So he could not go to war without Rome's permission. Go ahead.
And she was to pay Rome 200 talents, $720,000 today, every year or 50 years.
Every year for 50 years. Every year for 50 years. Basically 800,000, 700,000.
720,000.
720,000 every year for 50 years. Go ahead.
Hannibal pronounced the terms just and persuaded his government to accept them.
Go ahead.
The Second Punic War changed the face of the Western Mediterranean. It gave Spain and all its wealth to Rome.
Go on. It gave Spain and all its wealth to where?
To Rome.
To Rome. Go ahead.
Providing the funds for the Roman conquest of Greece.
Stop. So, when Rome conquered Hannibal, it gave Rome the power to conquer the Greeks. That's what happened. I'm giving you the tie-in of Daniel 7. Once they conquered Hannibal, they were able to have enough funds to raise up, to build their army, to overthrow the Greeks. That's how. They were a republic. But the wealth they gained from fighting Hannibal, they became an empire. So Hannibal's defeat was what made Rome an empire. The wealth they obtained to become an empire came from them conquering Israel, conquering Hannibal. That is the missing link in Scripture. Now,
by them getting Spain, so all the gold that was in
all
Spain.
let me get it right.
Deacon.
Get sex and race now.
Do you have this?
Yeah, which one? First magazine? Yeah, I'm getting there.
Yeah, I probably thought that.
Yeah,
I knew that.
I'm heading there.
I knew it.
Go to this one.
I smelled it.
Sex and Race by J. Rogers. I don't mind y'all having this one. You can get all 3 volumes if you want. You can get all 3 volumes if you want. Sex and Race by J. Rogers.
Deacon, also, we have a call.
You have a caller? All right. So let's prepare Sex and Race Volume 1, page 88. You know what I want, right? Manny? Thanks.
Shalom, caller. Shalom, caller. Where you calling from?
He said,
You good, Cap. You good, Cap.
Hey, shalom. Shalom, sis. How you doing? Shalom, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
This is Adia. I'm calling from Indiana, and I'd just like to say thank you guys for standing firm for the truth and not giving up. I was listening to you today, and I listen to you periodically a lot so that I can get information. And today it was just really an extra blessing. So I just wanted to encourage you and say keep doing it because we don't have a lot of people out anymore standing for the truth. So I just want to say thank you.
Thank you, sis. All praises to the Lord. Appreciate
Praises
that.
Most High, sis.
Much appreciated.
We appreciate it. Thank you, sis.
Thank you
Encourages
very much.
us.
Very encouraging. Yeah.
And it keeps us going.
Yep.
We love the support of our sisters. When we get the
we do.
support of our sisters, that pushes us even further.
Right.
Because we fight for our nation.
So we're going to get one more any more callers or continue where we are? Continue. Continue? All right. So let's go. Go back to where we at. Sex and Race, Volume 1, page 88. So I'm tying in. Remember, Daniel 7, it mentions how the Babylonians came in, and the Persians came, and then the Greeks came, and the Romans came. And the Romans were fighting with the Greeks, but they weren't really winning until they gained that wealth and power that they obtained from Hannibal, the Punic War. Sex and Race, we're going to start at page 88. The underlined portions. I don't know what portion that is. Let me see. I put underlined portions.
It's right at
You
D.
can't
It's
really
right at
see
D.
it. You see it? Well, let me get there with you so I can know exactly why or what I'm reading. But you can read it. I'll read along with you. Page 88, the underlined portions I have.
It says Hannibal and his African troops must have brought a great deal of Negro strain into the Roman population.
Whoa, wait. Read above that. Septimius.
Septimius Severus, another great emperor, was born in Africa.
He came from the same place that Hannibal came from, Libya. Go ahead.
Macrinus and Firmus, other emperors, were Moors. Macrinus came of most humble parentage and was probably an ex-slave, as his ears were bored in slave fashion.
Next one.
Hannibal and his African troops.
And his what?
African troops.
Black troops. Remember the Gauls? Remember that? We read about them being Gauls and Spaniards. These are blacks. Go ahead.
Must have brought a great deal of Negro strain.
And remember parts ago I mentioned how he said you had dark Spaniards in that book I brought out, the Native Americans. I said dark Spaniards. That was way back. I mentioned that way back. But the book I have about Native Americans mentions dark or black Spaniards. That's what it was alluding to. Coming to the side of the world. Black Spaniards, referring to us. But go ahead, read on again. Hannibal and what?
Hannibal and his African troops must have brought a great deal of Negro strain into the Roman population.
They brought a great deal of Negro strain into the Roman population. Because we had it on live. We ruled over there. Go ahead. Sicily, go ahead.
For 13 years, they dominated the peninsula from the Alps to Naples.
Go ahead.
Hannibal himself was a full-blooded Negro.
What?
A full-blooded Negro.
Full-blooded Negro. Full-blooded Negro. Go ahead.
With woolly hair, as his coins show.
As his coins show him on them. Go ahead.
His wife was Spanish and perhaps white.
BS. She was black too. Don't try to play that game with us. Yeah, thought his wife was white. Even he was black. That's the most important part. Page 89.
Listen, a white woman couldn't handle Hannibal.
No,
I'm sorry.
unless she was a slave.
Yeah. Damn. Yeah.
Let's see.
And he would not deal with that because remember, he swore revenge.
Upon his
Right, against Rome. So why would he have a right?
Yeah.
Nonsense. That's why I said nonsense. Go up page 89. This is a Hannibal, most famous of all. That and then go down to the bottom. No, read that first.
Oh, right here. Let me start at Razel.
Okay, go ahead.
I thought it was. Razel and Reckless have also spoken of the marked Negro strain in the North African peoples.
Yeah, Carthage. Negro strain in Carthage. Go ahead.
The former says Negroes crossed the Alps with Hannibal and fell at Worth beside McMahon.
Negroes fell with him. Who were those? The Gauls? That was his army. Negroes fell with him. This is black people fighting. Spaniards and Gauls. Blacks. Negroes. And akin in blood in relation to the ancient Jews. Let you know who he was.
And they show you he was a white because they was fighting the Romans.
Fighting white, exactly. Right. Fighting white folks. His whole army was black folks. Why do he have a white wife when he's fighting against white folks?
Makes no sense.
That sounds retarded.
Because at this time we knew who our enemy was.
Now I'll leave. Now what I'll do, I'll leave it open ended. We did, however, capture that area where white women were, and it says we left a legal strain. So yes, it's possible. However, I find it very unlikely his wife was white. I doubt it. But nonetheless, the point is that he and his men were Negro. That's the point. I don't even go sidebar with his wife. She's irrelevant to me. But his point is that he was a Negro and his army was Negroes. Go ahead.
I don't know, Deacon. I don't know, man.
It don't matter. It don't matter either way.
Our women, man, like Hannibal. He had a world. He getting something real nice.
He probably did have something. He probably had more than one. Who knows?
Right. But Esau, they're not like our sisters.
Oh no, Cap, no. Beat on. No, this is gonna do. I know this is going. Yeah, continue, man. Go ahead, Hannibal. I know this is going.
Whatever
what you're gonna do. Go to Hannibal, most famous.
Whatever their original nature may have been, all this population must have been alloyed with a strong Ethiopian element.
Yeah, black element. Go ahead.
The entire Semitic and Hamitic population of Africa has, in other words, a mulatto character which extends to the Semites outside Africa. Hannibal, most famous of all Carthaginian, was a Negro, as was said.
As was said on page 88. He was a Negro, as was said. The Carthaginians were Negroes. That's what it's saying. Jump down to the bottom now, the Numidians. No, matter of fact, no, read the next paragraph. The North African part. I don't even know how that top. Read that first part.
This North African region was once known as Barbary.
Barbary. That goes back to the Maghreb. The barbarian states. Barbary states. Remember that map we showed you on God Be map? Barbary? Yep. Go ahead.
And its peoples.
Or go ahead.
And its people, the Berbers.
They were called Berbers. Go ahead.
Or barbarians.
That's where Barbary comes from. Berbers or barbarians. It's read earlier in the map last week. Berber Jews. Berber Jews. Go ahead.
Who, despite the bad use to which their name was put by the Europeans.
The Europeans gave them the name barbarians or Berbers. That was the name they gave us because we were black and didn't speak Latin and Greek. Go ahead.
Were once leaders in culture.
So Esau's culture came from us.
So we were civilized.
Yes. Let's jump down now. Go to the Numidians.
Go down. The Numidians of classic antiquity were a Negro people. Sir William Smith said...
Hold on, the Numidians are what?
The Numidians of classic antiquity were a Negro people.
That's Carthage. Go ahead.
Sir William Smith says that the word Mari, from which comes Mauritania, Morocco.
See? The word Mari, from which comes Morocco. Go ahead.
Means black. And adds, these Moors must not be considered a different race from the Numidians, but as a tribe belonging to the same stock.
Same people. Go ahead.
The most noted figure of Numidia was King Massinissa, who provided the balance of power whereby Rome was able to defeat Hannibal.
Sell out nigga. Sided with Rome against Hannibal. All for power. Because he wanted all of Numidia. Numidia is part of Carthage. He wanted the whole thing for himself.
That's wicked as hell.
Hannibal had one portion, his family. He had one portion. He wanted all of it for himself. So I'll start with Rome. I'll get it from Rome.
Wow.
Evil bastard.
Did that go with what's that? First Maccabees 8, where Rome set up whoever.
Yep.
That Jason.
Yeah, that allies with
Right.
them or something like that. I'm paraphrasing.
Hey, you know Deacon gonna go over that, man.
Yeah, you.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, how dare you?
I'm sorry, Deacon. I'm sorry, Cat.
How dare you, man? You see, I held back.
I just wanted to prepare Deacon for.
Nah, I respectfully showed Deacon the scripture. I said, Deacon.
Yeah.
He said,
Going
yeah.
there right now. First Maccabees
Because
8
you know,
I'm sorry.
bro,
We know. You
Deacon got
should have
that.
known Deacon.
Bro,
You're right.
you should know better, bro.
I'm sorry, Cat. I
All that hair
apologize.
you got in your head.
Look,
It's blocking the oxygen from your brain.
Israel. I want to apologize. I made a mistake just now.
Oh, man.
You apologize for not cutting the
cut
hair.
that
that's
hair
all.
off.
Wow.
You apologize
Look
for
like
this.
Tito Jackson.
Yo, Cat, why can't I be someone that was of no, some type of?
I don't want to give that to you.
Oh, man.
All right.
First Maccabees.
There's some hatred going on about hair.
Yeah.
Up on the
hair hate.
podium right here. So
See, Israel don't know what goes on behind the set.
First Maccabees 8 and 1.
they have not.
Right, exactly. That's all it's about. The have and the have nots.
Let me read the scripture for you, Deacon, before you were interrupted.
Damn.
Wow. First Maccabees 8 and 1.
First Maccabees chapter 8, verse 1. Now Judas had heard of the fame of the Romans, that they were mighty and valiant men, and such as would lovingly accept all that joined themselves unto them, and make a league of amity with all that came unto them, and that they were men of great valor. It was told him also of their wars and noble acts, which they had done among the Galatians, and how they had conquered them, and brought them under tribute,
Watch this.
and what they had done in the country of Spain.
Hold on. What they had done in the country of Spain. What did they do? Go ahead.
For the winning of the minds.
For the what?
The winning of the minds.
For the winning of the mind. Who they win them from? Hannibal.
So Dick, basically what I'm getting here, if I'm mistakenly, so while Hannibal was fighting the Romans, we was fighting the Greeks.
Right.
That's basically
Right.
Damn.
Right. And the Romans and Greeks are fighting each other.
Right. Damn.
So you had Maccabees fighting the
crazy.
Greeks,
Yeah.
Rome fighting the Greeks, and Hannibal fighting the Romans.
Esau and Jacob.
Esau and Jacob fighting
Yeah.
each other, pretty much. And then Rome gained momentum and power, overthrew the Greeks because they did what? Read verse 3 again.
And what they had done in the country of Spain.
Oh, when they conquered, when Scipio conquered Hasdrubal. Go ahead.
For the winning of the mines of the silver and gold which is there.
For the winning of the mines of the silver and gold which was there. That's how Rome gained the power to conquer the Galatians and gain power. Read verse 4.
And that by their policy and patience they had conquered all the place, though it were very far from them, and the kings also that came against them from the uttermost part of the earth, till they had discomfited them, and given them a great overthrow, so that the rest did give them the tribute every year. Besides this,
Yeah, like Hannibal, it tribute every year, taxing. Go ahead. 720,000 a year for 50 years. Go ahead.
200 talents.
besides this, how they had discomfited in battle Philip and Perseus, king of the Kittims, with others that
That's
lifted
Greeks. Go ahead.
with others that lifted up themselves against them, and had
That's all I
overcome them.
want, and overcome them. That's all I want. I'll stop for a reason. Now, let's get Caesar in Christ again. No, give me that website I sent. I'll send you a website. I sent you a website on Hannibal.
And historically
Today, I
speaking,
said
Deacon,
today.
you understand historically, we understand there's always fights amongst ourselves. Well, like I said, we always could because of power. Even with Esau, there was fights amongst themselves because of power. But what you notice the difference between Esau and us, when we fought amongst ourselves before power, there's no recovery period of us coming to one common ground. Say, you know what? We have a common enemy before us. Let's put our sources together. Like when you look at the history with the Romans and the Greeks, Greece understood, okay, we had our time of rulership. Because the Romans was always there, but it's just under a different tribal name. You have the different dukes of Esau, the different fathers. So under the different as Rome gained status and power, you have the Greeks says, you know what? Rome says, yo, listen, they came against them. The Greeks says, you know what? Boom, let's join unto them. That's why you have the Greco-Roman Empire. So along with that, you have what is called the Germanic tribes. You have the Germans, Germanics. You have the Visigoths. You have the Franks. You have the Goths.
The Goths, right.
All of them during the
Gauls.
time period of Rome. Oh, we have a call?
All
Okay.
right, one more call.
One more call. Yeah, so I'll finish my thought after.
You finish your thought now. Right?
Okay, so during the time when Rome gained status and power, you had the Gauls, the Visigoths, the Gauls. You have the Franks.
Right.
Yeah, and what is it? Germ.
Vandals.
The Vandals.
A whole bunch of them.
So these are all Edomite tribes
Yeah, they were.
during the time of Rome, and they were also, Revelation goes into that. They were also fighting amongst each other.
Right.
But Roman, you can see that also in a movie called Barbarian, a show called Barbarian. They show that the fight is between the Germanic tribes. So Rome
And Gladiator.
Yes, and Gladiator as
Fought
well.
The Germanic tribes there. The Gulics.
So Rome was able to crush each and every one of those Edomite tribes. But the difference between Rome gained status and power. The difference is, as we gained status and powers during, like I said, Septimius Severus as well as Constantine, we began to rule. All these tribes, they were there. Now they're Spain. Now they're France. Now they're Germany. So what happens today? Yeah, but they work together. Even with the differences, they work together for a common cause against the Israelites.
Right.
But
Until
for
the
some
Lord turns
reason.
them again- until the Lord turns the heat up and turns them against each other.
Exactly.
So what's the call? What's the call?
Shalom, caller. What's your name and where you calling from?
Shalom, peace, brothers. My name is Ray. I'm calling from New York.
Hey, shalom, brother. How you doing?
Good. I got a question about, the information that y'all given, like mainly concerning history, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering, like, I don't always watch, like, videos, sometimes you want to read the information, right? So
Right.
you get the books, but a problem I see often is I wonder, how do you divide this information, right? How do you know? For instance, I'll give you an example. Reading Babylon and Timbuktu, it'll tell you that the Edomite is Japheth, and we know that's not the case.
Right.
So it's like you just got to know the history to realize that he's wrong on that. But reading a lot of these books, I'm wondering, how do you figure this stuff out? How do you divide this? How do you figure out what to take, what to digest, what not to, what to put to the side?
The Bible got to be the main source. The Bible has to be your main source. And the Babylon Timbuktu regarding Esau being, he never said that. He said that the information regarding that is lacking. He never ever agreed to them being Japheth. He said the information regarding Japheth being white, the white race, is lacking because he knew, and he had books that we have, that he collected, that say Japheth was black. And I even made reference to a few Japhetic nations that were black, like the Thracians and Etruscans. They were all dark. So that's why he said that information is lacking. He heard it, but he cited it, but he didn't cite where it's from. But in terms of when you know it's true or false, you got to use the Bible as be the main source. Everything I've brought out thus far ties back to historical references of the Bible. That's why I mentioned. That's why I went to Hannibal. Then I went into 1 Maccabees 8, where it says they won the mines. How did they win the mines? Because they conquered Hasdrubal. So it has to tie back to the Bible. The moment it contradicts the scriptures, I throw it out. We call that bones. A slang term, we call it bones. We spit out the bones. We keep the meat that's in it. You understand?
Yeah.
So the main source must always be the Bible. The Bible is a historical book itself, which ties into secular information. So whenever I do it with history, it has to go back to that Bible. Otherwise, I don't mess around with it, or I'll leave it alone. Or I may touch it, but I may leave it open-ended. Like, okay, I'll research it some more, I'll get back to y'all. That's how we do it.
So I'm just getting kind of like hip to the Apocrypha. I just bought one. I haven't read it yet, right?
Uh-huh.
Because I'm wondering, like, the Bible's got history.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have some of the detailed stuff that we see now. Like some of the information that you guys give on this history show.
Right.
So it's like, what do you got to do first? You read the book first and then go back and kind of,
the Bible is preferable to be read first. I told everybody, someone asked you that last week. I told them the Bible would be first. You got Plot of Commandments and first and foremost, because the books will tend to books. If you go with books first, you start going kind of crazy. There's a lot of information. You lose your brains. You got to focus on the Bible first. Get your mind right first. Run those basic things first. And then this is like, I say all the time, it's like college level. It's like an advanced history, advanced Bible class, I'd say this radio show is. So it's just for those who pretty much are kind of seasoned with scriptures already and have a knack for history. I try to make it as basic as I can to those who are new. But I prefer you learn the Bible first and foremost, and then when I go into history, it ties in, This is more like I'm more so filling in the gaps. That's what I'm doing. The Bible is everything. I'm just filling in little minor gaps here and there with history. That's all I'm doing.
Like the Bible's abbreviated.
The Bible's an abbreviation, pretty much. It's abridged.
Can I just?
And I'm just giving more.
I have a scripture real quick,
Yeah.
just to help.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
John 21 verse 25.
Right. To show us in the abridgment, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
John 21 verse 25. And there are also many other things which Jesus did, which, if they should be written every one, I suppose that even the world itself could not contain the books that should be written. Amen.
Right. So what it's saying is that Christ did so many things. When we read about Christ, it mentions him, he turned 12. Then it jumps to him being 30. So we don't know what he did between for the 18 years. So it's an abbreviation. The things that Christ did was enough to let us know he was who he said he was. He was the one who was prophesied to be the one to come. The Bible gives us just enough. It's an abridgment, an abbreviation. So I just fill in the gaps. I mentioned how Christ came to the side of the world. That's not written, but it's historically documented by the natives and so forth. That's what I do. I just fill in the gaps here and there.
Right.
That's what I do. So the Bible got to be your first and main source. Always your first and main source before anything else. Otherwise, you will lose your mind.
Right.
Yeah, look what.
So last, I don't know if you had anything else to say on that, though.
Yeah, I was going to explain to you, like you said earlier about Esau calling himself the son of Japhet. When you go to Genesis 10, how we know, because Genesis 10 explains to you the children of Japhet. You understand? So that's how we know that he's lying concerning that part.
Right. He just took those lands over. That's all. And assumed the identity like he does everybody else.
Yeah.
Right. So what's,
yeah. So I just wanted to say it's crazy how God works and whatnot. This is your this is me, Deacon Ethan, your cousin Ray.
Oh, hey Ray.
How you left you left the BX before
Yeah.
I had I had realized my nationality. You know what I'm saying?
All praises.
Oh, hey Ray, what's going on, man? This is the cousin I'm talking about earlier.
Yeah,
in the
yeah, I
show.
remember.
Okay,
This
yes.
is 'cause I was
I
talking
can
about
see.
earlier in
Hey,
the
I can
show.
see why Deacon left the BX. All that horn honking, horn.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's going on?
All praises, though. man.
Yeah.
All praises.
I was thinking how long ago you started this.
Right.
Right, and now out of all of this time, out of all the route that I done went,
Right.
I'm right back where you were originally. Like, damn, I envy that brother, man. I can't believe he did it right the first time, the first way.
Right.
You know what I mean?
All
Like,
praise to the
yeah,
Lord,
yeah.
man. It's never too
Yeah,
late. You know it's
right.
never too late. You know that. I'll talk to you after the show.
Yeah.
I didn't even try to reach out to you. I've been so busy, man. I saw it says you got a cousin named Ray. I said, Ray, reach out to me. Okay, I'll reach out to him.
Yeah, coincidence. I don't know if it's a coincidence.
It's a coincidence. There's no such thing. It's providence.
Yeah,
Providence.
exactly.
Yeah.
Because I've been searching like everywhere, like
Right.
all the the letter camps and whatnot.
Right.
And you find so often that you got Israelites that love blacks but hate Israelites.
Right.
And so all they do, their whole mission is to put down every other Israelite.
Right.
And I noticed that with you guys, like, even though there may be some things that I don't understand or agree with at this particular time,
Right.
I realize the love for the brothers, you know what
Right.
I'm saying? And that to me is like, yeah, this is where it's at, man.
Right.
Your bishop don't attack, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, things that don't need to be attacked, he just keeps on with the word. That's all
Right.
I worry about.
Right.
I'm like, I like this. I like that. You know
All
what I mean?
praises,
That's,
man.
That's me. Yeah. So
Yeah, bro. All praises, man. All praises. Well, cuz,
Yeah,
listen,
but
man.
thank- yeah,
I'm gonna talk, huh?
yeah, I was gonna say, just thanks for the information and stuff.
Of course. I'll talk to you after the show. I'll talk to you after the show, man. We'll talk.
All right. Yeah, sounds good.
All right, bro. All right, bro.
All right, peace.
All right, cuz.
Peace.
Shalom.
All right, shalom.
It's a small world. I'm telling you, man. It's a small world. So that's the cousin I was referring to at the beginning of the show. My mom left me with them. That's the one. That's the cousin that I was talking about. My mom said, be around them. That's the one.
Praises.
Right. That's the cousin I was referring to. So all praises for that. Let's where were we at? We were at Caesar and Christ, page 54. Oh, yes. Yeah. Analysis of Roman coins tells of Hannibal's defeat and Rome's rise. Let's go down. Let's skim through it real quick.
Blow it up.
Blow it up. The defeat.
The defeat by the ancient Romans of Hannibal, despite the Carthaginian leader's famous feat of marching his army, complete with war elephants over the Pyrenees and Alps into Italy, also meant that the Romans captured the silver mines of the Iberian Peninsula.
Spain, Iberian Peninsula. And keep that word Iberian close to your hearts, okay? Iberian Peninsula. Iberian Peninsula. That's Spain. So captured the silver mines of the Iberian Peninsula. Go ahead.
bringing so much silver into the Roman Empire that it can be traced through the coinage.
Come on.
Scientists have, for the first time, analyzed the silver content of a group of coins, bracketing the Second Punic War from 218 to 201 BC, in which Hannibal initially inflicted humiliating defeats on the Romans, but was then forced by a counter-invasion to fall back to North Africa
Carthage.
and ultimate defeat. The Carthaginians also lost control of the Iberian Peninsula and the richest silver mines of the Mediterranean world.
The richest silver mines. The richest silver mines of the Mediterranean world. Go ahead.
The coins were minted between 225 BC and 201 BC. Before the war, the Roman coins were made of the same Aegean silver as Greek cities in Italy and Sicily. But as the course of the war turned in the Romans' favor from around 209 BC, and silver as booty and reparation payments began to pour into Italy.
Into Rome. Go ahead.
The silver used was Iberian,
Spanish. Go ahead.
meaning that the coins had a far higher silver content.
Richest silver in Spain. Let's go down some. Right there. Read the massive. This massive right there.
This massive influx of Iberian silver significantly changed Rome's economy.
Isn't that the same thing they did to us on this side of the world? They conquered us and enslaved us and used our labor and our wealth and built America. Likewise, they conquered Hannibal. We acquired our wealth in Spain and took that. Read again.
This massive influx of Iberian silver significantly changed Rome's economy, allowing it to become the superpower of its day.
Wow. See that? So the wealth they acquired conquering us made Rome a superpower. Go ahead.
We know this from the histories of Livy and Polybius.
We read that name Livy numerous times, and Polybius. Read that name numerous times as well during the lessons. Go ahead.
And others.
Like Tacitus and so forth. Go ahead.
But our work gives contemporary scientific proof of the rise of Rome.
Watch this.
What our work shows is that the defeat of Hannibal and the rise of Rome is written in the coins of the Roman Empire.
Go ahead. Go down. Go ahead.
Professor Kevin Butcher of the Department of Classics and Ancient History at the University of Warwick said the project had confirmed that what had previously only been speculation. This research demonstrates how scientific analysis of ancient coins can make a significant contribution to historical research. It allows what was previously speculation about the importance of Spanish silver for the coinage of Rome to be placed on a firm foundation.
See that? One more time. Allows what?
This research demonstrates how scientific analysis of ancient coins can make a significant contribution to historical research. It allows what was previously speculation about the importance of Spanish silver for the coinage of Rome to be placed on a firm foundation.
That's all I want. So basically, Hannibal's defeat is what gave Rome the wealth to become an empire. And when it became an empire, it conquered Greece and knocked the third beast out of the water. It became the superpower that it was. All right? That's all I want. So Hannibal's history ties into Rome's rising as an empire, becoming an empire.
It's crazy.
All right? So now, like I said, I'm just filling in the gaps. Let's go to page 54, Caesar and Christ. Page 54, Caesar and Christ. And we're going to go to Carthage. To Carthage.
It was the beginning?
Yeah, it says to Carthage. It says on page 54. It should say to Carthage, the third paragraph.
Yes, sir.
And then we're going to stop at page 55 where it says at peace.
To Carthage, it was the beginning of the end, with much of its commerce and empire left to it. It might have solved the problems of regeneration, but the oligarchical government was so corrupt that it threw upon the lower classes the burden of raising the annual indemnity.
Oligarchical was the high upper class people were corrupt and evil, wicked as hell. They didn't care. Go ahead. About the low class. Go ahead. Or Hannibal. Go ahead.
Raising the annual indemnity for Rome and embezzled part of it to boot.
See? Negroes again. Negroes. Go ahead.
The popular party called upon Hannibal to come out of his retirement and save the nation. In 196, he was elected Suffet.
Stop. In 196, he was elected what?
Suffet.
Suffet. Remember that word? It said in pages ago. It says they were referred to as shofets, judges. Like in the scriptures, shafet. So he was elected as a judge. Shafet, that's a Hebrew term for judge. Okay, shafet. Go ahead.
He shocked the oligarchs by proposing that the judges of the court of 104 should be elected for 1 year and should be ineligible for a second term until after a year's interval.
So he said, listen, man, you guys shouldn't be ruling. From now on, let's have it where a judge should rule for 1 year and can't come back until the year after. But these guys are corrupt anyway, so make me a judge. I'm going to change the whole system, the whole structure around. So he became the judge and changed things. Watch this.
When the Senate rejected the measure, he brought it before the assembly and carried it. By this law and this procedure, he established at one stroke a degree of democracy equal to Rome's. He punished and checked venality and pursued it to its source. He relieved the citizens of the extra taxes that had been laid upon them, and yet so managed the finances that by 188 BC, Carthage was able to pay off the Roman indemnity in full.
See what he did? He did a Black Wall Street. He paid off all the debt that they owed Rome. Because he was good with money. He was wise. He said he got them all out of debt. He got them out of Roman debt when he came in power. Go ahead.
To get rid of him, the oligarchy secretly sent word to Rome.
So you see that? It comes to black people again. It says to get rid of him, the oligarchy, is these corrupt Negroes, man.
And it's still here today.
Still around today. Still around being this, man, being Negroes. Go ahead.
To get rid of him, the oligarchy secretly sent word to Rome that Hannibal was plotting to renew the war.
It's a lie. He was not. Go ahead.
Scipio used all his influence to protect his rival.
So Scipio, who defeated him, had love for him because he was like competition, like his rival. It's like, okay, it's this guy. Listen, man, leave Hannibal alone. So they had a common respect for each other at this point. Esau and Jacob, pretty much. Go ahead, read again.
To get rid of him, the oligarchy secretly sent word to Rome that Hannibal was plotting to renew the war. Scipio used all his influence to protect his rival, but was overruled. The Senate accommodated the rich Carthaginians by demanding the surrender of Hannibal.
See that? So they fed the rich Negroes to turn on Hannibal, to turn him over. Go ahead.
The old warrior fled by night.
He dipped. I'm out of here. Go ahead.
Rode 150 miles to Thapsus and there took ship to Antioch.
To Syria. So he went to Syria. He went to Antioch. Who was in Syria? Who's in Antioch? Where's he going? Page 55, 50 what? 50...
55.
55, and we're going to stop at peace.
He found Antiochus III.
Oh, he ran into Antiochus the Great, or Antiochus the Great. He ran into him. That's the same guy mentioned in the Bible, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Antiochus, that's who Antioch is named after. Antioch of Syria. Go ahead.
Hesitating between war and peace with Rome, he advised war and became one of the king's staff.
Stop. Hannibal became one of Antiochus's counsel. War counselor. His counselor. Go ahead. This is Antiochus III. Watch this.
And when the Romans defeated Antiochus
because remember, the Greeks and Romans were fighting each other. Remember I said earlier, you had the Maccabees fighting the Greeks fighting the Romans, Hannibal fighting the Romans. And you had the Spartans fighting the Romans too. So all going on. So Hannibal said, well, I can't beat them now. My own people are against me. I'll help the Greeks overthrow the Romans. I'll help Antiochus defeat the Romans. Go ahead.
When the Romans defeated Antiochus.
When the Romans defeated him, go ahead.
At Magnesia, 189 BC, they made it a condition of peace that Hannibal should be turned over to them.
Bring us Hannibal. Go ahead.
He escaped first to Crete.
He ran again. He a black man. He always on the run, man. I'm out, yo. I'm out of here. Yo, I'm out. He dipped again. Go ahead. To the island of Crete. Go ahead.
He escaped first to Crete, then to Bithynia. The Romans hunted him out and surrounded his hiding place with soldiers.
Damn, go ahead.
Hannibal preferred death to capture. Let us, he said, relieve the Romans from the anxiety they have so long experienced, since they think it tried their patience too much to wait for an old man's death.
You know one thing? I do you guys a favor. I just kill myself, because you guys are so afraid of me being alive. I'll just kill myself. Go ahead.
He drank the poison that he carried with him and died, aged 67, in the year 184 BC. A few months later, his conqueror and admirer Scipio followed him to peace.
He died too. Because when you read later on history, Hannibal left his people. They turned against him, and Scipio left his because they turned against him, trying to help Hannibal. So both of them ended up being like suffered the same fate in a way. It's weird. Because yeah, pretty much like a Naruto Sasuke type of thing, right? If you know that stuff. But pretty much that's what happened. They pretty much turned against them. So they held our own people, and they both died in peace the same way.
So it's like two old enemies become friends.
Right,
Damn.
two rivals become friends and fade to the same thing.
And
that's how much I'm sorry.
Good.
That's how much respect he had for him.
Right, because he was
like, we was enemy, man, but you bad, bro.
Yeah, it's challenging.
Let's become friends now. Yeah.
I read somewhere else too also that Scipio and Hannibal, when he was on the run and his hiding, Scipio used to meet up with him and they just used to, converse.
Right.
About the wars they had with each other. But also that also lets you know that Esau don't forget about you, man.
Nope.
They do not forget.
They don't forget you. They come for you. They will come for you.
Hey, look at
white folks don't get mad for a little while, cry and complain and burn things and forget it. White folks remember forever.
Right.
Look at our
for generations.
Our sister Asada Shakur.
That's
right.
Yo,
right.
That was how long ago? She's in another country.
They still chasing her.
They still chasing her. Yo, that's Most High's hiding her.
Yeah. Right.
In her old age too, just like Hannibal.
They can't find
They can't
her.
let her go.
They can't find her.
Right. They can. They just can't touch her. They know what she is. GetPatanga.com. This man's the devil. He knows exactly what she is. He just can't touch her.
Because it's Cuban government.
Right.
They're not going to give her up.
No. GetPatanga.com. Antiochus III. I'm going to finish this, man. I'm going to finish this page. GetBatanka.com. Antiochus III. This number, we're going to start at meeting no resistance. And we're going to end at including his son, the fourth. Antiochus, Ochus the third. 3 I's, 3 capital I's.
It's right there.
The Great, yeah, that's it. Yeah, we're gonna start at meeting. This is Antiochus the Great or the Third, who Hannibal became his counselor, right? Meeting no resistance. Just type in, if you want, finding page, meeting no resistance. So you ain't gotta sit there and scroll down, try to find. Just type in meeting no resistance or meeting. Right there. Meeting no resistance. We're gonna end at his son the fourth. Go ahead.
Meeting no resistance. Where you going? Meeting no resistance. The Roman army crossed the Hellespont in 190 BC. Antiochus was now eager to negotiate on the basis of Rome's previous demands. But the Romans insisted that he first evacuate the region west of the Taurus Mountains. When Antiochus refused, he was decisively defeated in the Battle of Magnesia near Mount Cephalus, where he fought with a heterogeneous army of 70,000 men against an army of 30,000 Romans.
Damn, go ahead.
What's going on? 30,000 Romans and their allies. Although he could have continued the war in the eastern provinces, he renounced all claim to his conquests in Europe and in Asia Minor, west of the Taurus at the peace treaty of Apamea. He also was obliged to pay an indemnity of 15,000 talents over a period of 12 years, surrendered his elephants and his fleet, and furnished hostages, including his son, Antiochus IV.
Including his son, Antiochus IV. You know who encouraged him to fight this battle of Magnesia? Hannibal. And when he lost, he had to pay back 15,000 talents and surrender his son until he's able to pay it back. Now, let's get 1 Maccabees 8, verse 6. We start to what? Verse 5?
Yes, sir.
Read verse 6.
First Maccabees chapter 8, verse 6.
Mm-hmm.
How also Antiochus, the great king of Asia, that came against them in battle, having 120 elephants, with horsemen and chariots and a very great army, was discomfited by them.
By the Romans. This is Antiochus the Great or the Third. Go ahead.
And how they took him alive, and covenanted that he and such as reigned after him should pay a great tribute.
A great indemnity. Same thing. Go ahead.
And give hostages.
Go ahead.
And that which was agreed upon.
What hostage did he give? The hostage he's supposed to give was Hannibal, was one, and his son, was the other. So Hannibal was out. He dipped. But his son he get to give him instead. The fourth. Go to chapter 1 now, verse 10.
First Maccabees chapter 1, verse 10. And there came out of them a wicked root, Antiochus, surnamed Epiphanes, son of Antiochus the king, who had been in hostage at Rome.
What was he?
A hostage at Rome.
What was Antiochus Epiphanes what?
A hostage at Rome.
He was a hostage at Rome. Go ahead.
And he reigned in 137th year of the kingdom of the Greeks.
See, Antiochus Epiphanes is Antiochus the fourth, the great son. He was held hostage because his father owed that money for fighting that battle that Hannibal counseled him to fight, and he lost. He had to pay back a debt, and his son was held hostage until that debt was paid off. See how it all ties together. History ties into Hannibal. Hannibal's in the Bible, just not by name.
And Deacon, they show that as a tactic, a war tactic of the Romans. They always took the son, always took the firstborn of the son as a hostage and raised them up as a Roman citizen. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's just like for collateral damage, just in case.
Right, collateral.
If they decided to get out of hand, then they could kill a son, or sometimes they will raise the son up from youth, and then they'll place them over that village to rule over that village, because why? They're born up, whatever they was born up as that, and then they could instill the Roman values and keep track of what's going on.
Right. Get page 39 real quick. Page 39, we're gonna start the Latins. I'm gonna finish this page. The Latins. Page 39. Or this page right here. Page 39, the Latins gave the name Caesar and Christ. Sorry about that. Caesar and Christ, page 39.
And also, you could see an example of that, what Kat was just mentioning in the movie Dracula Untold.
Mm-hmm. Right. He was his son, right? Mm-hmm. Raised him. Mm-hmm. Now it's Jake too, fighting against
yes, sir.
the Arabs.
The Ottoman Empire.
Vlad Dracul was us also, the Impaler. Vlad the Impaler was Jake too.
Go down to Latin.
The Latins gave, right there, the pencil mark is. Blow it up. If you can't, it's fine. You can still see it.
The Latins gave the name Africa to the region around Carthage and Utica.
So they gave the name Africa to the region around Carthage and Utica. Only that portion of Africa was referred to as Africa because that was Hannibal's capital. Carthage, that area, was conquered by Scipio Africanus, so they named that region he conquered Africa. Go ahead.
And followed the Greeks and calling its Semitic population puny, Phoenicians.
See that? Or Semitic population, Phoenicians. Now, one more. Get page 351. Is it going to cut? Try to extend. Give me 10. Page 351. Give me outline. Give me outline. I'm going to finish this page. Now it's a wrap. It should be only 2 pages. 351, 352 of outline, right? So all I want is 2. We can end it on this.
Do you have it?
No. You don't have it?
No. All right.
The outline I have is these 2 pages.
Yeah, those 2 pages.
What are the numbers?
408, 400.
That's from let me see. Oh yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. The same one. I'm sorry. I gave you that book, Jess. That's the other copy I had.
Yes, sir.
It was on those pages. It's 4849. Yes, that's it.
Deacon, where are we starting?
Start from the history.
The history of the next 15 years is a story of the most brilliant and futile raid in history. For 15 years, Hannibal held out in Italy, victorious and unconquered.
We ruled Italy for 15 years. That's why I said we had some blood Negro strain among the Romans, because we messed around with the women over there. Go ahead.
The Roman generals were no match for the Carthaginian, and whenever they met him, they were beaten.
Whenever they met him, we beat him. And it says in the other book we read earlier, in jest, Hannibal would joke around about it. He would joke around about it. These guys is weak. He'd laugh.
Having fun with him.
He's having fun with him. Jump down to whenever he met.
Whenever he met the Romans in open fight, he beat them.
Whenever he met them in open fight, he beat them. Jump down next one. In 216.
In 216 BC, he was assailed by a vastly superior Roman force under Varro at Cannae.
You read this earlier. Cannae, go ahead.
And destroyed it utterly.
Go ahead.
50,000 men are said to have been killed and 10,000 prisoners taken.
Go ahead.
He was, however, unable to push on and capture Rome because he had no siege equipment.
He wasn't prepared enough. But if he was prepared, he would have took Rome at that point. Next page, 409. Spain was also. So Spain also was. What's the underlying parts?
Spain also was wrested bit by bit from the Carthaginian.
Wait, go back to page 480 again. I'm sorry.
Which one, D?
The bottom page. But Cannae produced other fruits.
But Cannae produced other fruits. A large part of southern Italy came over to Hannibal.
Large part of southern Italy, that's Sicily, came to Hannibal. Go ahead.
Including Capua, the city next in size to Rome. And the Macedonians allied themselves with him.
Those were Israelites in that area, Macedonians living there. Now go to page 409.
Spain also was wrested bit by bit from the Carthaginian grip.
You begin to lose. Go ahead.
When at last reinforcements for Hannibal under his brother Hasdrubal, not to be confused with his brother-in-law of the same name who was assassinated, struggled through into Italy. They were destroyed at the Battle of the Maturius in 207 BC. And the first news that came to Hannibal of the disaster was the hacked off head of his brother thrown into his camp.
See? Let him mourn for that. Go ahead.
Thereafter, Hannibal was blockaded into Calabria, the hill of Italy. He had no forces for further operations of any magnitude, and he returned at last to Carthage in time to command the Carthaginians in the last battle of the war. The last battle, the Battle of Zama, 202 BC, was fought close to Carthage. It was the first defeat Hannibal experienced, and so it is well to give a little attention to the personality of his conqueror, Scipio Africanus, the Elder.
Scipio Africanus, the Elder. Go ahead.
Who stands out in history as a very fine gentleman, indeed, a great soldier and a generous man.
Go ahead.
We have already mentioned a certain P. Cornelius Scipio who struck at Hannibal's base in Spain. This was his son.
This is his son. So Scipio Africanus was P. Cornelius Scipio. P. Cornelius Scipio. Go ahead.
Until after Zama, this son bore the same name of P. Cornelius Scipio, and then the surname Africanus was given him.
Go ahead.
The younger Scipio
after it says the elder, so they gave him his father's name. Go ahead.
The younger Scipio Africanus Minor, who was later to end the Third Punic War, was the adopted son of the son of this first Scipio Africanus, the Elder.
Wait, what? Read again. This is the younger Scipio Africanus, Scipio Africanus Minor, who was later to end the Third Punic War, was the third one. We'll get to that another time. Was the adopted son of the first Scipio Africanus, the Elder. So he had one son of his own and one adopted son. The adopted son conquered us again during the third time. His actual son conquered Hannibal that second time. All right? And that's how, and the Latins gave that landmass he conquered Africa, named after him, the younger, named after Scipio Africanus Minor. That's what Africa comes from, this men here. Okay, Scipio Africanus the Elder, then you have Scipio Africanus Minor. All right, that's who conquered Hannibal. Hannibal almost killed the father, the Elder, very early. He wounded him by the sword. He escaped. Then this son took over. And then this son, his father adopted somebody else, and he also conquered us again during the Third Punic War. And that's how Africa got its name, from this Africanus line of the Romans. All right, so we're gonna end it on that. Hope I got something out of today's class. Shout out to the IT team. Shout out to the breakfast team. More praise to the Lord about that. Cat, announcements.
All praise to the Most High. Thank you. We appreciate you every week as you attend our show, Our Hidden History. Once again, if you would like to give donations to Our Hidden History show, you could donate to IUIC.NewJersey at IsraelUnite.org. This put in the description box that is for specifically Our Hidden History. Also, if you'd like to donate to the Booster Club, you can donate to IUIC.fundraiser at IsraelUnite.org. Once again, you can donate to IUIC.fundraiser at IsraelUnite.org. And if you feel it in the kindness of your heart, as you can see that we're suffering economic depression. I'm suffering economic depression. You know, And I need the support of the community. My book collection has stopped because the white man decided not to fund us our stimulus check.
Oh.
So you go donate to IUIC.NewJersey at israelunite.org and put in the subject matter Captain Joel's book fund. Plus, you can put an extra money for Captain Joel's stimulus check fund.
So brothers, sisters, stay tuned. We're gonna delve into the decline of Hannibal's rulership and open up into the realm of King Arthur. Coming up with King Arthur's coming up next. So stay tuned for that. The history ties into him. All right. So with that, we say shalom.
Shalom,
Most High
shalom,
Christ bless.
shalom,
Shalom, Most High Christ bless.
Searching for the road to the way back. We don't know our father's going way back. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. We the chosen people, you say no way. Enemies are teaching you the wrong way. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. History, history. Yeah. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. History, history. Yeah. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? Do you know it? Tell me, do you know it? History, history. Now we going back. Peter on my back for sure. When I let the truth go, we gon' let them know. My people on my back for sure. I hold them down for the road. The Lord Almighty made me. Laws I got, they changed me. We can see the truth now. Got them looking crazy. Man, I'm always searching. Yeah, you hear I'm searching. You hear me, boy, I'm searching. You hear me, boy, I'm searching. You hear me, boy, I'm searching. Yeah. Searching for the road to the way back. We don't know our father's going way back. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. We the chosen people, you say no way. Enemies been teaching you the wrong way. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. History, history. Yeah. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. History, history. Yeah. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Rounding up the book to read, I gotta get them all looking overseas, and you know it, and you know it, yeah. Rounding up the, yeah. Rounding up the book to read, I gotta get them all looking overseas, and you know it, and you know it. Reading through the law to see, I gotta dot the I's, even cross the T's, and you know it, and you know it. Praying to the Lord, have mercy, mercy. Show me where you wanna go first, you know. Oh yeah. While I'm teaching to the people that's thirsty, searching for the truth that's hidden, you know. Oh yeah. Speak through the mouth of my lips when I'm. Show me where you wanna go next, you know, right away. If you lost and you don't know where the truth at, looking all around but you don't know where to go. Well, we gon' show you the way. Okay, let me read the line. Line it up, standing back to back. Taking 9 times. Doctrine killer, hater stepping back. Captain Joel from the book. Yeah, the prophet's back. Officer Ahim. Yeah, that's Pepper Black. Officer LaCroix. Yeah, from way back. Minister of knowledge. Officer, just remember that. We gon' search the whole world. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, oh. Searching for the road to the way back. We don't know our father's going way back. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. We the chosen people, you say no way. Enemies are teaching you the wrong way. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah.
Take no long talk from the dogs. Cause man I raving in wolves. Chief office sound the alarm. Sound it. Cause man I raving in. Man I raving. Listen when I take no talk from the dogs. Cause man I raving in wolves. Chief office sound the alarm. Cause man I raving. Man I raving. You fi know man I raving. Man I raving, raving, raving. Man I raving. You fi know man I raving. Man I raving, raving, raving. Man I raving. You fi know raving. Man I raving. Many are off you getting saving. You know system on a bill straight from the basement. Money on the mission and we concentrating, trading. When we touch the road, no hesitating. Everything catch a fire when we hit the pavement. Me see them a plot, them a meditating. One set of evil and perpetrating. Ravening, that's a the anthem. When you hear raving, and them. But I'm wicked that I know me can't stand them. Them a demons, son of Satan them. Son of the right, wolf, Benji, wolf. Listen, you be tuned to the ravening wolves. Liar, wolf, Raven, wolf. Listen, you be tuned to the ravening wolves. With Deacon, I bring the fire color higher. Man, I bring the prophecy, I make a preacher boy retire. Day and night, me putting in the work, them want me to retire. You don't see how we are roll a judge, a spirit we acquire. It not gonna be too long before we trot down dirty Babylon. It not gonna be too long. Wanna fire upon dirty Satan. Listen, when I take the talk from the dogs. Cause man I raving in wolves. J-Wolf of his sound the alarm. Cause man I raving. If you know man I raving. Man I raving, raving, raving. Man I raving. You fi know man I raving. Man I raving, raving, raving. Man I raving. Man I raving in. Man I raving in.
Vernon demons be like, yo, bro. So I talked to Micah. I said, Micah, you know, so I'm trying to get it.
Try your luck. A lot of these demons is trying us. New man alive, I can't die enough. Jews ain't been black, no denying enough. These curses have been on me, can't cry enough.
All praise to the Most High. It's another Sunday, Israel. How you feeling out there? Hey, don't forget, share the broadcast. Raven and Wolves is back on the airwave. Hey,
Hey, these demons is trying us. New man alive, I can't die enough. Jews ain't been black, no denying enough. These curses have been on me, can't cry enough. Longing all day for the freedom. I got some enemies more than just eat them. They don't understand it, he told you in Peter. Trying to get back to the garden of Eden.
This the last show.
Hey.
The righteous judge standing at the door.
Hey.
6 rings on me. Like MJ, 2/3 got to go. Double honors, we a flock of kings. Great light shining on the earth. The laws of Yah can't cut the corners. Tree of life is not a stain on us. Watch me whip a chariot. BA side, they put the blame on us. The Bible is a weapon.
all praise to both sides. So, you listen to 7 Chump Sage from Sons of Thunder on the new album available on originalroyalty.com. Don't forget, hey,
Try your luck. A lot of these demons is trying us. New man alive, I can't die enough. Jews ain't been black, no denying enough. These curses have been on me, can't cry enough. Longing all day for the freedom. I got some enemies more than just eat them. They don't understand it, he told you in Peter. Trying to get back to the garden of Eden.
This the last show. The righteous judge standing at the door. 6 rings on me. Like MJ, 2/3 got to go. Double honors, we a flock of kings. Great light shining on the earth. The laws of Yah can't cut the corners. Tree of life is not a stain on us. Watch me whip a chariot. BA side, they put the blame on us. The Bible is a weapon.
Woo.
And you know we always got that thing on us. Who gon' rise up for the king? Chain me faster than an eye can blink. Redeem me from Edom. These last days ain't no time to faint. Yo.
Big things popping. What time the great whore dying and them bombs need dropping. Most high about to switch a noodle, go Alfredo on them pasta. Cooking coons in the month of June, they can't barbecue like Papa. What you must forgot about Sodom, don't give me no lip. Especially if you send me on ships. Sauce don't need no chips, Sherry is gon' dip. Coons of October, that's it. New Jerusalem, that's it.
Hey, gotta run it back, that's a hit. Backslide on the God, get your wings split. Next gon' die, it's over, that's it. Babylon burning like this, that spiritual scroll. I'm with the Lord, so I'm going ghost. Bible talk, get a double.
Now we do it every Sunday. Raven Wolves Radio Show. Tell your mama. Tell your granddad. Tell everybody. Raven Wolves on the air.
I'm with the Lord, so I'm going ghost. Bible talk, get a double dose. Bible Belt Christians, they think they know. Traveling the world, so we going coast. Yeah, so I had to fall way back. Bible tucked like a knapsack. When it's wartime, you know we stay strapped.
Hey, yo, India, run it up, fire!
So I'm observing time like a surgeon. Like damn, you don't hurt them. This that Maury Povich is the verdict. When it comes to the truth, you are not in it. The end is not, so you better listen. I'm bringing facts, so pay attention. Put on the whole armor. Listen,
All praise to the Most High.
This that spiritual quote. I'm with the Lord, so I'm going ghost. Bible talk, get a double.
Don't forget,
Bible Belt Christian.
OriginalRoyalty.com.
Traveling the world, so we coast to coast.
Get the new album by Sons of Thunder.
Fall way back. Bible tucked like a knapsack. When it's wartime, you know we stay strapped. When God speaks, it's straight facts. The conversation's so irksome.
Hey.
I'm observing time like a surgeon. Like damn, you don't.
Sons of Thunder.
Maury Povich is the verdict. When it comes to the truth, you are not in it. The end is not, so you better listen. I'm bringing facts, so pay attention. Put on the whole armor. Listen, Ephesians 6th chapter if you don't read. New man, not who I used to be. We are not the same, even the blind can see. Y'all probably get sick of me. Like kid folk, just my life down. Wash clean, had to wipe it down. Hold it fast till the trumpet sound. Going to ghost.
They think I'm doing the most. Daddy think I'm in the ghost. Mama just don't even know. Homies that used to be close. Laugh at the pictures I post. Who does he think that he is? Where no.
Oh my, yo, me, say right beside
Woo.
me like Zachariah
Hey.
3.
Hey.
I do it. That endurance, I just push through it. Do it. Can't you see it, man? Oh my, yo, me, even devils do believe. James 2:19, so I prove it. Prove it.
Don't forget,
Scripture, I'm living through it.
OriginalRoyalty.com.
That's how I make it.
7.
Every morning and I hop out of bed. Gotta deal with my oppressor, all these thoughts in my head. I asked the Lord for some direction, can't take back what I said. When I ain't had that much discretion and was wicked instead, I cannot do it. Control the beast and hold the peace. When they lawless out here on the streets, make you want a piece of that temptation. Ain't no discrimination in my nation. Demons jump from house to house, and they always changing faces. Pull that Romans 15:4 straight from the door. Take a good look at our fathers, and you gon' get some hope. Just imagine that you was Joseph when you deal with a hoe, or you was Job and lost it all when you think that you broke. You know that Satan walking around like a roaring lion, waiting to devour all the sons of God and the daughters of Zion. He gon' try it, so it's up to you what you gonna do. Play with fire or take it higher, 'cause the kingdom's for you. Yo.
Oh my, yo, me, say right beside me like Zachariah 3. How I do it. Do it. That endurance, I just push through it. Do it. Can't you see it, man? Oh my, yo, me, even devils do believe. James 2:19, so I prove it. Prove it. Every scripture, I'm living through it. Do it. That's how I make it plain.
Showed up at the crossroads, what was set before me, life and death. Ain't selling that, gotta keep that. All I got, never get it back. He trying to get me, but I'm fighting hard. No more playing that lust card. No more on them Hunger Games. I'm getting it in a righteous way. Working hard every day. Pulling like 6 a week. Overtime, getting no sleep. And the rest of me, but that's the recipe to endure, man. This ain't my place of rest. Every time they arise, I'm passing every test. I make the same mistakes. A new lesson learned. I bounce back, get stronger, another stripe earned. A soldier in this war.
Don't forget, originalroyalty.com. Sounds of Thunder, 7th Trumpet.
Father send back his son, and all is gonna be done. But hold up, hell, voice in the clouds, trumpet sounding out loud. I want my sins to wave it down, searching for mercy after death. I need it right now.
Oh my, yo, me, say right beside me, like Zachariah 3. How I do it, that endurance, I just push through it, can't just.
Street, but it's not enough. Give them no rest. Work, count them up. We in the street, but it's not enough. Give them no rest till he establish us. And the world see Jerusalem. Way up, way up, way up, way up. Way at the top of the mountain. City set on the hill. Blue pill, red pill. Count them up. We in the street, but it's not enough. Give them no rest till he establish us. And the world see Jerusalem. Way up, way up, way up, way up. Way at the top of the mountains. City. Work, count them up. We in the street, but it's not enough. Give them no rest till he establish us. And the world see Jerusalem. Way up, way up, way up, way up. Way at the top of the mountains. City set on the hill. Blue pill, red pill. Count them up. We in the street, but it's not enough. Give them no rest till he establish us. And the world see Jerusalem. Way up, way up, way up, way up. Way at the top of the mountains. City set on the hill. Blue pill, red pill. Work.
Way up. Streets coming out, I'ma stay up. All day in the law, God, they can never, ever play us. Lotto ticket gotta play up. Euro step, this a layup.
Shout out to Mississippi.
Level 12, this
Hey.
You know a man buys fruits. You can clearly see the roots.
Don't forget to show the broadcast.
Walking, Mark 8, that's the truth.
Every Sunday.
High water college.
Raven Wolves.
Eat the law like Luke. Chapter 4, verse 4. Same thing as Matthew. Precept got you hypnotized. Never Christian made me sick. This ain't no Farrakhan. Average guy, no, I'm immortal. We the sons of God. Run that work like a career. This ain't no summer job. Flip these scripts like summer sauce. Young, cold Israelite prophets. So far blow, get it poppin'. East South can't stop it. Ishmael can't stop it. Cold Israelite prophets. Man of war, that's what God is. Moabites can't stop it. Ammonites can't stop it.
Why? Count them up. We in the street, but it's not enough. Give them no rest till he establish us. And the world see Jerusalem. Way up, way up, way up, way up. Way at the top of the mountains. City set on the hill. Blue pill, red pill. Count them up. We in the street, but it's not enough. Give them no rest till he establish us. And the world see Jerusalem. Way up, way up, way up, way up. Way at the top of the mountains. City set on the hill.
Told you I'ma bring it through the fire.
Well, it's a big up original royalty.
Get a grip. This not gonna be easy, dog. This is South Set.
Fire!
Told you from the jump, man. What did you expect? Told me you was down, fam. You don't recollect. Told me you was down, fam. You don't recollect. This not gonna be easy, dog. This is South Set. All up in your feelings, dog. Looking all set. Told me you was down, fam. You don't recollect. Told me you was down, fam. You don't recollect. Told you I'ma bring it through the fire. I want the pill, yeah, that's my desire. Nothing short of the real I require. Cream of the crop, what I get from my supplier. I don't lose. Tell me what you want, gotta choose. Set off the alarm, but these dudes wanna snooze. I'm trying to help you out, man, I'm steady giving clues. I don't play a lot of red gun or O's. I designed a course that it could turn you to a man. Fall 7 times, get up, dog, try again. Hate to see the struggle, wanna see my people win. I'm riding with the chosen, that's the ones that bring the fit. Tell me if you with it or you're not. Not a lot of time that you got. Blessings on blessings for the ones who tryna rock. Blessings for the ones who finna make the step. Sabbath morning, rise and shine, hit the block, make it hot, shake him down. We go at it till about 4 or 5 o'clock. Warfare, got my gear, I'm prepared for the hot. And we talking how we walking, yeah, this is how we rock. Friday night, gotta rest in the morning, hit the block, shake him down. We go at it till about 4 or 5 o'clock. Warfare, got my gear, I'm prepared for the hot. And we talking how we walking, yeah, this is yeah, this is yeah, this is yeah.
DJ, give me that Israel
Sabbath morning, rise and shine, hit the block, make it hot, shake it down. We go at it till about 4 or 5 o'clock. Warfare, got my gear up there for the op, and we talking how we walk it, yeah, that's just how we rock. Friday night, gotta rest in the morning, hit the block, shake them down. We go at it till about 4 or 5 o'clock. Warfare, got my gear up there for the op, and we talking how we walk it, yeah, that's just how we rock. Hey, I'm a workaholic, boy, don't play with me. Hey, no breaks, do this till the death of me. I'm with Elohim, careful what you say to me. What you talk. We been the chosen ones, I heard you claim to be. Yeah. What do you got, hey, what do you got? What do you got, cause talk is cheap. What do you got, you see me sick. Yeah, we got that remedy. What do you got, hey, what do you got? Heard you got that kill for me. What do you got, cause I need help. What do you got, cause talk is cheap. So I dedicate to do this every week. Yeah, we not moving corners, so they thinking that we weak. Yeah, never get it twisted, hey, don't sleep. We the sanctify, we pull up to your hood to clean the street.
Hey, look at the way that we move. They cannot stop what they see. They cannot stop what we do.
Hey. Now we do every Sunday.
Ohio.
Raven and Wolf Show. Hey, hey.
Hey, look at the way that we move. They cannot stop what they see. They cannot stop what we do. Look at the way that.
Don't forget to share the broadcast.
Hey, they cannot stop what they see. They cannot stop what we do. They wanna be.
Hey, hey,
the feet.
Hey,
send to the sea.
Don't forget to follow our Instagram page.
They wanna
Facebook.
Never the feet. Hey, send to the sea.
Send to the sea.
You and me.
You and me. Hey. They looking up and they looking down. Gold friends with a gold crown. They tryna stop what we doing, but we keep it moving. Oh, hey, you know that I rep that. Real Jews, yeah, go ahead and check that. Passing your doctrine, go wreck that. Pushing the truth, I ain't never gonna let back. Open your Bible and read out the book. I read the verse and I'm leaving them shook. We fist for men, we using the hook. We worldwide, we don't move like a rook. Young king doing king things. Younger brothers, I'm a ringlead. Shining bright, call it bling bling. I got my sword, I'ma let it swing. Shaking my head, you just as scary. I'm trying to free my people like Harry. I know it get heavy, but go ahead and carry it. Rid of that sin and then go ahead and bury it. I learned from my elders, they teach me facts. You know I'm a Jew, stop calling me black. Start keeping the law, so you coming back. So get off your butt, start leading the pack. Uh-oh, we just trying to live forever. Scripts get pulled out, I pull it like a lever. Okay, you know, we just trying to do our best. Stay strong and study hard.
Hocus pocus, them boys, where they with at? Pick them up
Have you meditated on what's gonna happen if we endure to the end? We're literally just gonna vanish and be gone.
Hocus pocus, them boys, where they with at? Pick them up in the sky, how they do that? Disappeared in my eyes, where they with at? If you sit there, you know you can't get in. Hocus pocus, them boys, where they with at? Pick them up in the sky, how they do that? Disappeared in my eyes, where they with at? If you sit there, you know you can't get in.
I got it, I tell my people not to quit. We the real Jews and them mothers counterfeits. Prophecy fitters like fresh outfits. Looking up and ready for that last trumpet.
Woo!
The fire red zeal in his eyes and his prop.
Hey.
Chairs coming down, your army can't even.
Hope you feeling good.
Whirlwind have you spinning around, feeling nauseous. Chucking up the deuces in the air like pathogens.
Don't forget to share the broadcast. Hey, shout out to the Miami camp. You know how we do. All praise to the Most High.
Not for them, the Lord ain't die for them. Why you even cry for them?
Hocus pocus, the wicked in a daydream. They pray to their likeness, drop the smoke screen. I ate the little book, it gave me protein. I'm walking with giants, yeah, you never seen. Hocus pocus, them boys, where they with at? Pick them up in the sky, how they do that? Disappeared in my eyes, where they with at? If you sit there, you know you can't get in. Hocus pocus, them boys, where they with at? Pick them up in the sky, how they do that? Disappeared in my eyes, where they with at? If you sit there, you know you can't get in.
I'm laughing, they like what happened. They just vanished. A black man just cracked the sky now. You can panic, you robbed me of my culture with no problem. And now you're about to die here like Dennis Rodman. I told you in Obadiah that you don't want no beef like empanadas. I've been here, yep, I've been here. If he got a yellow thin hair, he can't come in here. You don't even got no melanin, you need some skincare. I vote Christ for president, don't bring your sin here. I'm on a different element, my people must read. You heathens just suck, my people succeed.
Hocus pocus, the wicked in a daydream. They pray to their likeness, drop the smoke screen. I ate the little book, it gave me protein. I'm walking with giants, yeah, you never seen. Hocus pocus, them boys, where they with at? Pick them up in the sky, how they do that? Disappeared in my eyes, where they with at?
We seeking peace in the streets of Babylon. Brandishing Glock 40s, tucking heat like a carry-on. Sinning against the fathers, got me sleeping, I never know. Crack the king revealed, this
Yo. Shalom, shalom, Israel. Most High in Christ bless. You're tuned into another week of the Raven and Wolves radio show. Oh! You don't know. Hey, you don't know, Israel. You'll be here again another week. You know what I mean? You know, here with Officer Jalil, with DJ Els, Canada Drive.
Pasta boy.
We got Zion in the building. He helping out today, Joel. I don't know. I think that brother got the Rona, man.
I think got the coronavirus.
Yeah, he gonna gotta keep away from us for at least a month. You know what I mean?
For real.
For real.
Gotta get a COVID test before you come back here.
Yeah. Hey, and we got the brother in the house there too doing his thing. You know,
boy
brother,
Jordan.
You know, brother Jordan. You know what I mean? Hey, and we got the sisters in the house too. You know what I mean? We got Orion, you know, the sister that like the star that shine bright in the sky. You don't know. Oh man, Orion, Noid, and Sister Ashira, you know. So we got the news team here too that gonna be bringing the news. You know. Hey man, we got a lot of stuff we gonna be touching on today, you know. So brothers and sisters, stay tuned. Right now we gonna start it off with the news. Sisters, you all ready to deal with the news?
Yes, sir.
Alright, so right now we gonna start it off with the news. So yo, let's start it off with the news, man.
Yeah, that's true.
Good thing. Thank you, Lord.
Okay, you done know. Okay.
Shalom, family. Most High in Christ bless. I'm Sister Araya.
Shalom, family. I'm Sister Ashira.
And I'm Sister Noid, as Deacon Malachi calls me.
And we're back again with another segment of IUIC Weekly News. Yes! We got the bomb. This is the second time in a row, all praises. Okay, so we're going to go into our first article. This one is going to talk about the COVID-19 vaccination. So I know you guys are probably aware of all of the peaks of cases that have been happening throughout like all states and stuff, and now they're trying to put like regulations and like putting back into effect all of the laws that they had from originally. But yeah, so we're just gonna wait for that. Yeah. Corona. So, yes, that's the correct one. We're just going to read the article. The title, Coronavirus Update. 20 million could get vaccine next month. Normalcy could return in May. Warp Speed Advisor says. So if we just scroll down, we're just going to read a couple. Okay, so you can stop right there. So plans call for 20 million Americans to be vaccinated in December and another 30 million each month, with some semblance of normalcy returning to the country as soon as May. Operation Warp Speed Chief Science Advisor Dr. Monsiv Salah, whatever, said Sunday. And then if you get to the third paragraph, it says on the 11th or on the 12th of December, hopefully the first people will be immunized. I think I said that right. Okay. Okay. All phases. Immunized across the United States, across all states. Salau told CNN State of the Union. So basically, they're pushing this vaccination that they basically made up, I think, within like the past like 7 months since COVID's been out. Because originally they were saying, oh, we won't be able to see a vaccination within a vaccine. Thank you. I'm sorry. I didn't graduate English class, but a vaccine like within a couple months from now. But apparently it said warp speed. So I don't know if you guys know what warp speed is, but it's when you do something really fast. So the guy, Pfizer, he's the one that came up with vaccination, and the FDA, they haven't even they haven't looked at it yet or verified if it's even gonna work. they're doing it the day before the vaccination is supposed to be brought out.
So who did they test this on? Are they just gonna be tested on us? So we're the guinea pigs?
Pretty much, because I know Governor Cuomo for New York, he did a little video, a video press saying how he wanted all the healthcare workers and the elderly to get the vaccination, but those people that he was targeting was Hispanics and blacks. So he's like, okay, healthcare workers who were black, Hispanics, you know, Native Americans, you guys go out and get this vaccination, so you guys gonna be the first ones to get it.
Yeah, because what I remember watching the video, what he said was it was an alarming rate that the black and brown people were affected with corona or COVID. So they was like, this is who we're gonna target, basically the vaccines too. But the reason why it affected us so much is because the way they tweaked it. They tweaked the virus to attack us. Because at first it wasn't getting us, and that's why a lot of us was like, oh, that's that Edomite virus. That's not touching us.
Right.
And then they seen that and it was like, oh, y'all got to go.
Right.
So.
And it was giving me the Tuskegee experiment, how they were like, oh, let's just test this on this group of people, and then later on it was like effects, like long-term effects, like.
And, I'm sorry.
No,
a
go
lot
ahead.
of times they're gonna do the vaccine, and in my mind, with the Tuskegee experiment, they was infecting them with syphilis, which sterilized a lot of women. So in my mind, it's like there's nothing new in the sun. The same thing is gonna happen over again. I feel like when they start giving those vaccines, God forbid, but if they make it mandatory, I'm not gonna be the first guinea pig out there. Y'all gonna get tested. I'm gonna see what happens.
I know, Jakes, you're like, no, I want to.
Hey, I saw a video of another whistleblower, a healthcare official. It was a female, a Edomite. She was talking about the side effects of the vaccines. Now, you have multiple different vaccines that they were trying on the patients, and each of them had a 20% to 30% side effect rate. So there's no vaccine that you're gonna take that does not have a side effect. All of them has side effects.
That's true.
So, and in my mind, I'm thinking like, since they're targeted to the black and brown community, a lot of times we're gonna see, like years from now, these women were sterilized because of this vaccine. That's just another plot to destroy our people, to stop another Messiah from running in, stop the population. They feel like that we're growing, large in number, like they did in Egypt.
Right. Even last week we did an article saying, was it last week? I believe so. How New York they were pushing like, let's make this mandatory, like the vaccine. So now they have this supposedly vaccine, quote unquote, that's 95% effective. So they're pushing it where they're like, oh, each state gets to decide if they want to push the vaccine. But we know that they're going to push it regardless, because then basically they're losing money because of all this stuff. Like the economy, I don't know if you guys see it, but it's literally crashing. We're going to talk about it in another article. But yeah, our economy is literally crashing. So they're definitely using this as like a setup for our people, because they know that we're the ones who are 2 times more likely. I think they were saying, yeah, blacks and Hispanics were 2 times more likely to get the virus. Die from the virus. There we go. So we were dying at a predominantly higher rate than all the other races.
And another reason why we were, I guess, twice as likely to get the virus is because of the food that we're putting in our bodies, us not taking care of ourselves. We never learned to, how exercise benefits your body. Well, especially not for me until coming into the truth, where you start learning.
You say you got to talk more into the mic, Noy.
Sorry. Where you start learning in the scriptures how the exercise profits your body versus Esau. They're trained to know, like, okay, go to Whole Foods, eat this, do this, but they don't teach that to us in the black community. They have fast food restaurants, fried food everywhere. So a reason why we were getting affected is because of our health, and we don't take care of ourselves.
Right. It's
a whole setup. That's because brothers' wives be feeding them junk food.
McDonald's.
You know what I mean? Yeah. McDonald's and
what's for dinner? McDonald's.
What else? Give me some. I gotta
and
get
Wendy's and Chick-fil-A.
And Wendy's and you know what I mean?
Pizza.
Talking about and pizza. You know what I mean? You sisters, be poisoning us, man. I'm gonna be straight right now. I'm getting like, yo, you sisters be poisoning us. You understand? You'll be feeding the kids McDonald's, all these stuff that is unhealthy, junk food, and you know what I mean? Like growing up, our snacks used to be fruits. You understand? When I say fruits, like I'm from the island, you know, mangoes, or you know what I mean? You pick some mangoes or some chenet or some. Or what other fruit? Some
cherries.
Apple. You make some cherry chow or mango chow. Or I don't know if you all know what's chow. Chow is when you cut up the
Chow
mango.
mein?
No.
Okay, sorry.
We call some. We
Such
got
a Christian.
like the fruits we got. we cut them up, and we put them salt and pepper in it and flavor it and soak it sometime in water overnight. And we eat that like a snack, you know what I mean? We call that chow, you know, that's what we call it in the islands, chow, you understand?
I would eat it. So
You
I'm
know
gonna
what I
ask
mean?
your wife how to
It's
make it.
spicy, you know what I mean? We make it spicy, and that's what we eat for snacks and stuff like that, you feel me? You know, like, growing up, we never used to drink soda. I never used to drink soda like that, you feel me? Like, you know, you drink soda on like on a special occasion or something like that. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, but you know, we make our own juice and all of that stuff.
Homemade drinks.
You know, so that's why, you know, usually people in the islands and so forth in these places live longer than people here in America, in Babylon.
Your body's stronger.
Because your body is stronger, you know. Over here, the way how we eat over here in America, it's designed to break your body down, the foods you eat. You know what I mean? So I gotta get on you sisters, man. You all are the reasons why your husband is unhealthy. You all are the reasons why the kids is unhealthy. The reason why, because you sisters, you are supposed to be feeding your family with healthy foods. You know what I mean? But when you go and you look in the shelf, what you seen? You seen white sugar. You know what I mean? Couple times I come up in here and I came up inside here. I went in the kitchen the school. You know what I mean? And I saw a bunch of white sugar. I said, I told these.
Yeah, we only use
sisters-
brown sugar.
No, I had to tell you all that.
Improving.
We do brown
cane
now.
sugar now.
Yo, but you used to give me that white sugar,
Not
right?
me.
Yeah,
Not
man.
me.
Anything white is poison,
Not
man.
me. Right.
Yo used to give me that white sugar. Like, yo, listen, you all don't bring that stuff up inside here, man. Use some honey or some brown sugar. You understand what I'm saying?
Brown sugar.
You know, so anyways, I just went on a rant on the sisters here for a minute.
no, for real, it's needed.
Because you all are the ones that be poisoning us.
Sisters, don't poison them, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, we're not gonna poison.
We doing better. We doing better.
So okay,
working
so
on it.
so what about? Hey, I'm gonna mess with you all of it. Like
Okay.
how, like you a chef, right? I'm turning it on. I'm turning it on the sisters now. Okay.
Chef?
So okay,
Who's
I'm gonna
chef?
ask you. Okay, so like sis, like
Yes,
what kind
sir.
of food you cook?
I cook more Caribbean food, so like, do you want me to say what I cook?
What
Like,
what you cook?
I eat a lot of salmon.
I love the salmon.
Yeah,
what
like
else?
different types of salmon. Honestly, it's mostly salmon rather than meats. But like,
Okay.
I'll cook chicken, but most likely I'll have it at the Sabbath here.
Okay.
I really like salmon.
Okay, that's what's good. Salmon is good for you. What about you, Ashara? You got kids. No, what does you... And don't freaking lie, okay?
Thou shalt not lie.
Because I'm going to have your daughter call in right now. Hey, fire! Little sister, if you... And you know she going to snitch on you. If your mother is lying, call in right now, okay? You know, sis, so what you be feeding your kids? Like, what's the menu? What's the diets like?
So the diet for my children is like rice, beans, baked food primarily is what I like for my kids to have when it comes to like meats and things. However, my oldest daughter likes to fry a lot, which my second daughter does not like as much. So,
What
and
about pizza?
my oldest daughter loves pizza. So
What about Chinese food?
that is nasty. No.
No Chinese food?
No.
What about Mickey D's?
No, we're not doing that. No.
Wendy's.
What about
No.
Wendy's?
My girls like Wendy's.
Okay.
So
Okay.
my girls like
Yeah,
Wendy's.
okay,
But
okay.
we seldomly have it. Seriously, we seldomly ever have it. But that's because I'm trying to train my oldest daughter. So
What's your definition of seldom?
seldom, once every couple of months.
All right.
Okay.
Once every couple of months. However, let me say this. Let me say this, right? So, Israel, just so you know, I have 4 daughters. 2 of them are teenagers. Of my teenage daughters, what I'm trying to do with them is train them to be in a habit of cooking and preparing for their house so that they are becoming those Proverbs 31, daughter of Sarah kind of thing. So when it's time for them to begin to prove, they have something to bring to the table.
Right.
So what that
All
means
praises.
is I've stepped back a little bit when it comes to the cooking game because it is necessary. I have
Right.
2 teenage daughters.
Right.
So it's necessary that they take turns in cooking for the household,
Right.
you know, for the entire family.
Because, yo, let me tell you something. A lot of millenniums today,
Millennials.
That's
Yeah.
millenniums.
I got
He
you.
got
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
They know.
I'm not
Yo,
millennial.
yo, a lot of these millennials, you missed me.
I got you. I got you.
A lot of these millenniums, they today they do not know. A lot of these young sisters, they don't know how to cook. They don't know how to take care of family. You know what I mean? They don't know how to take care of themselves as a woman, take care of a house and stuff like that. That's why we got the Daughters of Sarah set up. The Daughters of Sarah, we try to instill these things in the young woman and the young sisters, so they learn these things. Because back in when I was growing up, I remember in high school they had industrial arts. Boys usually do that, and then they had home economics. The females did that, and what we used to do, we used to sneak over to home economics, because the sisters used to be baking and stuff like that. So we used to get cakes and stuff like that. We used to go by the window like, yo, let me taste it. You know what I mean? You know, so we used to be harassing the sisters, you know. But my point is today that's not in the education system no more.
Right.
You know, so it's up to you sisters to teach your kids how to cook. You know what I mean? To teach your daughters how to cook, how to be a better woman. You understand? Because society today, these millennium, these women, they don't know how to cook. Everything is fast food, man. You know what I mean? When a brother come home from work, he don't want no Mickey D's. He don't want no Hot Pockets. Or let me throw a Hot Pocket in the microwave for you. You know what I mean? Brothers don't want none of that. You feel what I'm saying? You know, so that's why, like, I went in this direction, because I'm telling you, you know what I mean? I love my sisters, but you sisters got to step your game up as being more responsible in this nation. You feel what I'm saying? More responsible as a wife. You know what I mean? Because brothers getting sick, the kids and them getting sick, and it all stem from unhealthy eating. And if the woman, which is the one that usually cook and take care of the house and stuff, if she put things in place, guess what? The brother's gonna be healthier. Right. The kids gonna be healthier. You feel what I'm saying? You know, so something I wanted to say, very disrespectful. I forgot. Okay, all right. Let's move on. I probably forgot it for.
If it's disrespectful, it will circulate.
Yeah, you know, I probably forgot it for a reason. So, anyways, we went here. I don't know why I went here. I just had that on my mind. You know what I mean?
For the coronavirus, because it's making more susceptible to dying from the virus if your system is weak.
Right. If your body is strong. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. So you all got more on that?
No, we don't. No, what do you make?
Exactly. Because she thought she was going to get away with it. Let's hear it.
Yeah.
So your girl your girl is changing her diet. So a lot of things I don't, make. Like I cut down on rice. I don't meat.
Right.
So I eat like a lot of vegetables, more fruits.
I can attest to that.
Yeah, I don't really like chicken like that.
Right.
But when your wife make it, I like your wife's chicken.
Okay.
And what else do I do? I make like my own juice that your wife taught me, so I've been doing that.
Okay.
And I made some for Araya. How was it, Araya?
It was actually really good. It was ginger and cranberries and something else.
Right.
But it was very strong and just it tastes good.
Hey, Noid, one time you made me some
kale.
Some kale. That kale was good, man.
I
you know
get
what
so
I mean?
happy every time you tell me
that kale was good, you know?
All praises. Every time you tell me that, I get happy. All praises to the Lord.
Yeah, that kid was good, man. You understand? You gonna make that brother a good wife. All praises. You don't know. A lot of kill.
I'm gonna just make him
You
a lot of
understand?
kill.
But
That's
anyways, I just stray for a minute. You know what I mean? So let's go back to the topic. You know.
Tell that pastor in the back to be quiet, man.
Yo, kale is very good for you, man. That's like a superfood.
No, it's
you know
good.
I ate 2 kale salads yesterday.
Yes,
I
you
ate
did.
3
And you had it this morning too.
And I had it this morning. So
Oh, yeah.
I had pasta. I'm trying to gain weight. Okay. So we're gonna go to the next article, our final article, regarding famine. So
hold on. Let's go back. Before we move on to the famine. This is the last article, right?
Yes.
No, check it. Cause I just feel like messing with you all today. You feel what I'm saying?
This is not on the. This is not on the
This
agenda.
is not on the. Like, listen. I tell you all. I go with the flow. I'm like the wind. You understand me?
Right.
I don't plan stuff. I don't know. Some telling me to just mess with you all today. You feel me?
Okay.
You know what I mean? So yo, what I'm thinking is
I have to go to the bathroom.
Okay. So no, you all just touch on the vaccine, right?
Yes, sir.
And that showing us that listen, they are gonna that they are trying to speed up and mass produce it to give it to the population and so forth.
Correct.
The vaccination. My concern with the vaccination is that in this short time they came up with a vaccination to fight the coronavirus. Most likely it's unsafe. You feel what I'm saying? Because there's no way they could come up with some so quick and they don't have no side effects. No, you know, even the vaccines and them that they have today, a lot of them medications, all medications have side effects.
Correct.
You're gonna get a medication for sickle cell or give me another disease, a chronic disease, asthma, and it could cause death. Could cause seizures.
It'd be like
you know, yeah,
the
you gonna
whole
yeah,
tiny
yeah,
print
yeah.
font.
You see all the fine prints that things